Howdy, this is your boy Jody Williams again. Welcome to another episode of ArmTalk. My guest, Evan Beerman Bourgoin, he's having some technical difficulties, so he'll go ahead and get that ironed out. Meanwhile, I'm sure he wants to talk about what happened over the last weekend with the events at Arm Gods. And I'm telling you what, here's my personal take on that. The event itself, okay? I didn't get a chance to watch it, but the event itself was awesome. My issue, because I know I put a video out, my issue was the press conference of all press conferences, right? The very last one, And Evan talked about this on Paul Italia's show, and he wanted to know, as in Paul wants to know, was the whole thing a fix? Was it staged? This, that, and the other. And so I'll be honest with you, because I thought, first of all, I saw this coming. I saw this coming because you remember it happened last year with Paul Maiden and Beerman. And for some reason I just felt like it's gonna happen. Didn't know when, but it was gonna happen, and rest assured it did happen. So, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I'm trying to figure out where is this going as far as our sport of arm wrestling. And I've said this time and time again on my show, on my other show with Ryan Espy, and I said the good thing about all these different organizations and promoters of the sport is that it does cater to other people, different people. I'll be the first to admit, do I think Arm Gods is probably a renegade promotion? Yeah, because they like to go out on a limb, right? Do a little crazy stuff. And I get that, but the first beer can over the head from Evan and Paul Maiden was one thing, but the second one's kind of like, okay, now you kind of predict that. So the $1 million question is, if Evan goes back to Arm Gods, will a third one happen? It's just everybody in the chat, welcome to the show. Feel free to ask questions, because I might be a little loony, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of a bad taste. And then, is my man coming? Here we go. What's up, man? How we doing?
Oh, we're doing it. Are we live yet?
Yes, we're live.
We're already live. Wow, isn't that just fan-fucking-tastic? Me being late. Little bit of a diva, The show starts when I get here, Jody.
Technical difficulties. I get it.
Fashionably late. I did it on purpose. I nanyed you.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started. That guy. Oh.
Well, Jody, we're going to have to agree to disagree here because I'm actually here just to get you started.
Whew, man, you said Nanya, don't trigger me like that, because that guy can't even come up with his own money to pull a match like that.
I am here just to get you triggered. That and to destroy arm wrestling.
Okay, here we go. So you saw my video over the weekend. So I'm giving you the floor. You go ahead and tell me what you thought of it.
Well, the thing is I didn't actually pay attention to most of what you said. I just saw that you were kind of bashing on it a bit, and I was like, you know what? I would like to have a conversation about this. So maybe we could do a little, you can re-hit those points, and I can explain to you why you're wrong. I'm not here to argue, just to explain why you're wrong. That's all.
Sure thing. So as a whole, the event had nothing to do with the event. It was more of the press.
Okay, well, let's start with the event. How was the event?
I didn't get to see the event, but I heard nothing but great things about the event, the matches and stuff.
You didn't watch the event?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That press conference kind of turned me away. Like, really? It just rubbed me the wrong way,
So you didn't watch the whole event because of the press conference?
Yeah.
Wow. A little bit stuck up.
And that other stuff to do, but no, yeah, you're right.
So, like, you wouldn't watch Ron Bath and Ryan Bowen because what I did. Or you wouldn't watch Tim Bresnan and Mindaugas Duskus because of what I did.
Well, not so much what you did. It just left a bad taste in my mouth. You know what I mean? And, did it have to go down like that? The thumbtack match was interesting in itself, but then after what I saw, it's like, honestly, you guys didn't need to do that to sell that match.
We didn't. We did not need to do that. We wanted to do that.
So,
Jody,
yes.
what would you do if somebody grabbed your beard? Now, Uncle John was threatening to put hands on me for weeks leading up to this. I very politely asked him not to do that. We get to make each other bleed on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch me on Friday. It's pretty simple. If you do, I will respond every time. John decided he felt the need to anyways. What I believe happened is John felt how strong my right arm was, and he didn't want to have a right-handed match and look foolish. So he decided to give my beard a little yank so I would hit him.
So he was pretty much going, well, I want to get hit. I want this to happen.
Do you think for 1 second John believed I was not going to hit him with that can? I told him full well, I have a tall boy of Canadian in my hand just to hit you with if you get out of line. I will do it. I promise. He told me he's not a bitch like Paul Maiden, and I won't be treating him like that. And he would fight me at the airport if I want. So I asked him to keep it about the match on Saturday. Let's be professional.
Right.
He decided he wanted to go ahead and test that out to see if I was going to hit him. Now, I'm pretty sure he did it because he knew I would.
Right. How is John bleeding from the mouth if the beer can hit him in the dome?
He wasn't bleeding from the mouth. It was leaking from his head into his mouth.
Okay. So a lot of people.
John bled a lot.
Oh,
like
that is real.
He ended up in the ER until 6 a.m. getting CAT scans and stuff from massive blood loss, and had the doctors telling him he's not allowed to pull this match. If his blood pressure goes high and he starts squirting again, like this could be the end of Uncle John.
Yeah, that's pretty serious, man, because when you bleed like that continuously for a long period of time, it's like, okay, man, you really want to die in Ireland, right?
Man, I almost did.
Man.
A bunch of times. Like, here's the thing about the Irish. They're always drinking. Always. The town we were in, it's got a pharmacy, a corner store, 2 restaurants, and 12 pubs. That's it. And every one of those pubs is full all the time. There's not enough houses or jobs for that town to have all 12 of those pubs full every night. I don't know where these people show up from every single night, but all 12 pubs full, jammed every night. The Irish really do just love to drink, but they're not any good at it.
Did you show them what's up?
I had to every time, every day. I had to get after it and teach them how, like, to drink properly.
So here's the thing. Going forward, anytime someone touches you on the beard, beer cans going over upside the head.
Yeah. And I am A-okay with not hitting somebody with a beer can and not going through any of that. But I'm not going to let you reach up and just grab my beard like that. You're not going to treat me like your bitch in front of everybody. Like, I'm just never going to be okay with it. It's not going to happen.
So
what would you do? So you're going to let somebody tell you they're going to treat you like that and then just allow it to happen. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just like, hey, if you're going to do it, after the press conference, you and I going to have a talk. Press conference is press conference, but after that, you and I going to have a talk.
Well, I'm going to do it right now. Just don't touch me. I asked very nicely. We get to make each other bleed on Saturday. Do we really have to do it on Friday?
Right. And have you talked to John since then, after the match? And everything is good?
I love Uncle John.
And a lot of people are saying it was a work, because we know, John and I'm a big WWE fan, and so is he. I kind of know how some of this stuff goes, and everybody wants to know, was it a work? Everybody know, was it planned? I think Paul asked you a question, and it sounded like you danced around it. Like, hey, was it a fix? Was it set up? And you kept saying,
if you think I'm just going to dance around the question, you're asking me the same question?
Well, you just kept saying, oh, the blood was real. Yeah, we get that.
Right. The blood was very real. And oh my God, there was a lot of it.
Okay. Yeah, it was squirting out like a super soaker. I get that. You know, we understand the blood was real. Was the entire thing Uncle John's idea? Hey, I'm gonna tug you. You get to bash me over, and then go from there.
No, I don't think that was ever set up like that. No, he told me he was going to do it, and I told him, if you do, I am going to hit you with the can.
Because the way I look at it, I know how you are to the point where when you say don't touch me, that's just what I mean. Don't fucking touch me, or else this shit's going down.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It would be hard for me to have a bunch of people calm me down. I'd be whooping his ass left or if it got to that point. If you are
right, but you just told me that you would say, okay, after the press conference, me and you are gonna have words.
That would be me. I'm talking about you right now.
You would be able to hold that in. And deal with it later?
One beer can over the head, and then they pull you back, and that's it?
I mean, to me, that's winning.
Because
I busted hit. He grabbed my beard. I gave him a little yank, a little smack there.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. If he would have been coming back at me, yeah, we go from there. I've already won. I'm a one-upper. I'm going to one-up you. So if he comes and tries to touch me again, okay, we can go a little further.
And for me, I'm just thinking, okay, well, now I got cracked upside the dome with a beer can. I'm bleeding. And I don't know what happened when the cameras went off, but all I know that it panned back to Uncle John. He's just like, you son of a bitch. I'm like, fuck that. You hit me upside the head with a beer can. I'm coming after you. Uncle John just stood there.
Well, how are you really supposed to do that? If you get out of line and then you get checked for it,
mm-hmm.
It's your fault. At what point are you man enough to say, okay, all right, I deserve that?
Oh, is that how he set it up? Like, I deserve, yeah, my bad. I'm just gonna bleed, my bad.
Dude, I've been poked in the mouth before because I was being a bit of an idiot. I tested people.
Mm-hmm.
Man, telling you, I will punch you right in the fucking mouth if you do that shit again. Like, what? Do that? Why? All right. Yeah, you will. Good on you.
Right.
I mean, does getting hit really hurt that bad? No. You don't really feel it till later.
Oh, yeah, to the next day. Well, Uncle John probably felt that the entire time.
If you get told that's what's going to happen, and you do it anyways, basically you're just testing them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really even be that mad at anybody but yourself for them not lying to you about it.
Because the thing when I'm looking at, like, at what point is it ever about the match now? Because now everyone's talking about, Evan again, beer can. I was like, I sat there and posted that going, man, beer can over the head again. At what point is it about the match itself, Well,
I'll tell you this. I think it's funny hitting people with beer cans. I really do.
Sure you do.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. And I'm A-okay with anybody in any upcoming super matches that I have going ahead and reaching up and grabbing my beard. And we'll do it again.
So you want them to?
Well, I don't not want them to.
So you wouldn't like egg them on going, yeah, test me.
Go ahead, touch it. See how it goes. You know how this is going. Touch it. Yeah, why not?
Right. So,
my next super match coming up in New York.
Yeah.
That dude messaged me and said, "Don't hit me." I said, "That's easy. Don't touch my beard. Like, you don't touch me, I don't touch you. We'll arm wrestle, no problem." Perfect.
Did you tell Paul this last year? Hey, don't touch me, or did he just like I was sheer will?
Paul was different. That dude was threatening to backhand my missus.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I was like, Paul, I am not that fucking guy. Like, you take one step towards her, and I will end you. Reach up and touch me right now and see how it goes. I promise I will do something about it. Touch me. See how it goes. He's like, what if I just grab your beard? He gave me a yank. I gave him a cuff.
Here's the thing about trash talking, about a match, whatever. I'm all for trash
I just
talking.
want to clear the air before your next point. I'm not the bad guy here, even though I'm the bad guy here. Yeah.
Right.
I was provoked and reacted how any sane man would.
Now, with that being said, did that change your upcoming match the next day? Like, okay, I already cracked this guy upside the head. What was your thoughts going into the match? Like, okay, are we good now? Yeah, just don't.
He's lost a lot of blood, and this should be easier.
You would think, right?
Yeah. So he stayed up all night at the hospital, and I stayed up all night drinking and laughing about it. So neither of us really had a whole lot of sleep going into the next day. But look, it doesn't, none of that actually matters, man. I know you've never got to pull an arm gods, but it is very different from any other promotion. And not just in the sense that, we do this fucking shenanigans and enjoy putting on that show. Here's the thing. Paul fucking was pissed off when I hit Uncle John.
Why?
Like, he saw all the blood. Paul walked right over. Now, first, I didn't want to get pushed off the table. I got grabbed by a bunch of dudes.
Right.
And I was pushing them off me, like, get the fuck off me. I don't want to be touched right now. If I had another beer can, which I had in my pocket, but I couldn't get it out because too many guys were grabbing me. And James Stewart is a really big, strong dude.
Mm-hmm.
If Uncle John didn't get stitches, would we be talking about this now? Maybe. It was still fun either way. The stitches just gives you more to talk about, I think. But James Stewart, the Claymore, the dude, like, I pushed him off once, and then he decided I'm not allowed to push him off again. He reached out and grabbed me by the hips and just picked me up like I was a baby.
He's that strong?
Apparently. If you rewatch it, you will see as I'm being pushed back, all of a sudden I get like a foot taller than everybody. And you just hear me go, yep, okay, yeah, we're good. There's a very clear moment where I got picked up like a baby. And I just understand that, yeah, there's no point in fighting anymore right now. We're good.
Right. So,
yeah, that dude is that strong.
Some people were saying it might have been a fix. We're not saying the beer can wasn't real. We're not saying John's blood wasn't real. I think some of the people we're not saying the stitches weren't real. I think some people were confused about where the actual cut was as opposed to where he got hit.
Right.
I've been hit in the head with a beer can before. I've never got bladed like that. Trust me. I've got hit in this dome on a couple of occasions. I never bled like that. Never got stitches.
I've been talking to you for a few minutes. I absolutely believe that you've been hit with beer cans.
You know, that's the we got. I'll check this out. Here we go. I made the tax match. It all. I'm sure he said tax match. It all falls on me when we release the match on YouTube Sunday. Sure, we'll get more heat, and then I'll do electrical. What? Electrical.
It's an electric shock table.
Oh, I really missed the world.
He could really piss the world off. Yeah. The tack match wasn't my idea. I got told it's a tack match. I thought about it for about a quarter of a second and said, yeah, let's go.
Right. But getting
Paul
back to
pissed about that. Like when James Stewart pulled me on, picked me up, I'm like, yeah, okay, I got it. I'll settle down. And he set me down. I'm like, I'm good, man. I'm good. Paul came over to me and he was pissed. Like, so Evan, you cross the line. That's it. Like, you're fired. You're done with Arm Gods. That's across the line. Like, fuck you, Paul. He was a bit of a dick, that guy.
Okay, James says, Jody, I really don't understand how you are against the tack match. You left WWE, and this is your second live on the matter. I'm thinking Arm Gods wins here. I'm assuming you said Arm Gods. So let me go ahead and let James know. James, here's the deal. You know, this is arm wrestling now. If it's WWE, fine. Call up Vince McMahon, Triple H, whatever the fuck. Go with that. This is arm wrestling now. I think some of the issues, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying I'm right, but I think some of the issues about our sport is that we try to be like somebody else. And I've said this before. WWE works because they don't try to be somebody else. MMA works because they don't try to be somebody else.
Well, in MMA, you've got, or in wrestling, pro wrestling, not just WWE, but you had the WWE and then you had the ECW.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's more than one league and more than one flavor. In MMA, you have the UFC, which was like the biggest, most professional organization, blah, blah, blah. But then you got Pride, where they liked a little bit of that circus sideshow, where they didn't have weight classes, where the very first thing written on your contract that you see in big, bold letters is we do not test for PEDs.
Right.
Right. There's room for all sorts of leagues with all sorts of spices on their variations. And Arm Gods likes pushing the boundaries. They like pissing people off and pushing the envelope. And if you like East versus West and you're that purist arm wrestler and you want to see 37 elbow fouls and 4 pins throughout the card, okay, that's what you guys like. I mean, I like that stuff too. I watch them all. I'm a fan of arm wrestling. I like Arm Gods a whole fuck of a lot better. Okay, so we don't have the very best in the world at each weight class, but we have some of the very best in the world at each weight class. It is still very, very high level arm wrestling. And it's a lot more entertaining. It's a lot better show. And even the arm wrestling itself, without the press conference, like we could just put the press conference behind us and we'll just move right into the actual arm wrestling itself. The walkout, the lighting, the atmosphere, the way the crowd is circled around the table and they hear everything that the arm wrestlers are saying. You know, they could feel the heat, the sweat, everything. The atmosphere in Arm Gods is second to none. It is easily the most entertaining arm wrestling out there. And that's not debatable. Like, it absolutely is.
And again, here's James. So with that reasoning, should we all be like East vs. West or King of the Table? Boring. I attended Arm Gods in Ireland. Best time of my life, as well as some of the biggest pulls I've seen. Okay, so, James, you're missing my point, though. I'm not saying the event itself. I was saying the match. You're not listening to what I'm saying. The event, the matches they had on the event was fine. I'm just saying the thumbtack.
How do you know? You didn't watch them.
What's that?
How do you know? You didn't watch them.
I didn't watch this last one. Like this past weekend, that's the one I didn't watch. I've seen ones before. I've seen the ones when y'all went to Canada. I've seen that one. I've seen the very first one. I've seen that one. I'm not saying the promotion itself. I think people are kind of blurring the lines.
I get what you're saying. I just like James is a super fan. I love that guy. He flew all the way to Ottawa to come watch the last Valhalla. He flew, and he's Canadian, but he lives out in Saskatchewan, so it's quite the travel. It's like a 40-hour drive or 30-hour drive or something to get there. So he flew, and then he flew all the way out to Ireland to come watch this one live in person, just because he loves the show and the atmosphere of Arm Gods so much, right? And he's more than happy that he came all the way out to Arm Gods because of how good the show is and how good the arm wrestling is.
Right. Like I said before, it has nothing to do with the promotion or the organization or the event. My whole take was just the match, the tag match itself, the one match. The other rest of them were fine. No, I didn't watch it, but I've watched the previous ones and they were kick-ass events. I'm just saying that, okay, where do we go from now? If you go from a thumbtack match, now what's the next match? Because I think now John has the hardcore belt or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's going to be electric.
See? And at what point is it like, okay, what's it going to take? Someone get fucked up for real before it's like, okay,
yeah, absolutely. I will do a table saw match if there's enough money on it. If this hand can make me enough money that this hand doesn't have to work ever again, I don't need this one that bad.
So is it about the arm wrestling itself or just like the gimmick stuff? I guess that's what it's coming down to.
Everything. It's the whole package. It's the show. Look, so I did see one of your points last night. Actually, yeah. Lean Machine, Tom Holland. Man, that's a bad dude on the table, too. I like that guy. Tom's awesome. But
this is true.
For $4.99 to watch the pay-per-view, Matt Smith versus Connor Sale is worth the price of admission on its own. That was a horrendous match. Connor called a timeout while they were putting the strap on in round 5. And he kicked the emergency door exit open and puked his guts out, came back to the table to finish the next 3 rounds. That was the most hellacious arm wrestling match I've ever seen. Easily the best arm wrestling super match I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. And I would have to go through a ton of footage, but I could definitely say top 5 of all time ever. I don't care which round you tune into, if it's round 1 through 7 or any number of restarts in those 7 matches. I guarantee you the ref says, don't move, ready, go. And both those dudes drive shoulder at each other and they just get stuck in the center of the table. One of them drags the other outside of their shoulder and he ends up hanging for dear life. And it comes back and goes the other way. And it's nonstop 7 full rounds of an absolute war of attrition. That is 2 guys that hate losing so bad. It's not even about how bad they want to win. They just hate losing, and they would not stop fighting each other until they had to. And then both of those guys had to be like carried to put on this big gym mat, and they took a nap together afterwards.
And see, that's my whole point. You get guys like that.
And you missed out on watching one of the greatest matches of all time.
Yeah, and I'll be the first to admit, yeah, I probably should have got the event. I will say this, though. Do you think with that match being the way it was, and I totally agree with you with that, I have no doubts about that. Do you think your match with Uncle John should have been the main event? Knowing that shit, the way that shit was?
And this is why. Well, a couple of things. One, you got a little bit of blood going to be happening around on that table and stuff. And you think the other guys should be competing on that?
Mm-hmm.
No, the answer is no, they should not. Two, anybody that wants to watch all of the rest of the arm wrestling and doesn't want to watch the tack match, we're the last match. You can go ahead and turn it off when we come out. You don't have to watch it. Feel free not to. I give 0 fucks if you want to watch my match. But if you're going to miss out on some of the greatest arm wrestling out there because you don't want to see my match, knowing that my match is last, dude, you can just turn it off. It's that easy. Turn it off. But I guarantee, had you been watching it, you would not have turned it off. You would have been glued to the screen like everybody else. Okay, I got to see what this is about. I promise you would not have turned it off.
And rightfully so. But once again, people, that was the only Arm Gods one I missed. I'm like, guys, it's like I'm being thrown to the wolves because I missed one event, you know? So it's not like I've never seen an Arm Gods event before.
But you were bashing on the one event that you didn't watch.
No, I'm bashing on the match. Again, you guys are blurring the lines. It was the match.
I am not. I understand this. You are not against Arm Gods. You think the matches that they put on are always very good, and they are. The walkout, the entertainment, the atmosphere there is second to none in our sport.
Mm-hmm.
But bashing on the tack match, and you didn't even watch it to know what it was actually about.
So was the tack match? Was it all about the sizzle and the steak, or what is it? Because I'm telling you, what I'm getting a lot of in the chat, and like I said, everybody has their own opinion. Totally get that. If anybody knows me, I pump up all organizations, all of them, right? Even some of the ones that don't like arm wars, I pump all the organizations up, including Arm Gods. I've seen them before. I'm all about Arm Gods. It's awesome. The one time I don't have a match, I don't like a certain match, or the one time I didn't watch the event, now I'm act like I've never seen one in my entire life. And I think this is
that's not at all what I'm saying. You feel like I'm attacking you on that. What's this? Is it about the gimmick or the match? A stupid fucking question. Why can't it be both? Arm Gods catering for everyone, at least trying something different. Yeah, okay. I mean, that doesn't sound like it's a personal attack. Maybe a bit of a stupid question that he thinks, because you're asking, is it about the gimmick or the match? It is definitely about the matches. But you add those tacks in, not everybody is going to like it. I get that. They don't have to. But that's why it's the last match. You don't have to watch it. You feel free to turn it off before that match happens. Right?
Right.
And 2 weeks ago, I recall Arm Gods here saying that. I recall you going on talking about how you thought this tack match was cool and entertaining.
The press conference would turn me off. That's what it was. I was like, we really going to do this shit again? Because I think someone, it might have been Benji Mack earlier in the chat, said Uncle John did a poor job of blading himself, you know? Like, you don't need that to sell an event, in my eyes. You don't need that. I mean, the card itself sold itself.
Yeah, you don't need that to sell an event. But once again, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and that's just how I am. Look, you set me down and say, look, I don't want any swearing. I don't want you being vulgar. This is our criteria to have you here. Okay. I will follow your rules that are set forth for me.
You would do that?
But if that motherfucker touches me, he broke the rules first, and I am a one-upper. I'm going to go overboard. It's what I do.
So if that was the case, then how come Paul didn't get pissed off at John then?
Because John was bleeding all over the place like a stuck pig.
He still fucking touched you. I mean, like, so why?
He did.
So why is it all on you? And then he doesn't, just question.
Simply because John did something that was, too far. He should not have done it. And then I take it a step further.
Right.
Right. So who did worse? Well, me. So who do you get more mad at? Well, me. Sounds like a logical step.
So when you do these face-offs, technically, I don't know if there's an actual rule about, hey, don't touch this person, don't touch that person.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's laws about it. You don't actually touch somebody without consent.
Right. But it's like going, okay, so what if Paul's that mad at you because you did that? What's going to happen the next time? Because I know you're going to get invited again. What's going to happen next time? Is he going to lay out certain rules for you? It's like, if it's going to be for you, it got to be for the other person too.
Well, here's the thing. My personal rules for me far supersede any events rules given to me. And if you touch me, I follow my rule set first.
And Paul knows that.
Well, he had better fucking know it. If not, he's fucking figuring it out now, isn't he?
I'm just
if he doesn't know it, because we know he's watching live and commenting here, if he still doesn't know that my personal rule set for life supersedes any rule set given to me by an organization, I mean, I know he doesn't quite speak English, but it's close. He should understand it close enough.
I'm just saying, man, the next time we have it, because who knows if I'm sure there might be a next one later on down the year, probably. And I'm wondering, okay, here's Beerman. Are there going to be rules laid out to you and your opponent? Hey, don't touch each other. Let's have a press conference,
Maybe they will keep us separated so that guy can't reach out and touch me during the next one. Maybe. I don't know. That's maybe you should write into the office and give them an idea like that. Like, hey, how about we make sure that guy does not touch the Beerman? Yeah. So we can avoid that. Or maybe they find it entertaining to see. But Paul was pissed for real. Like, he told me, I'm fired. I'm done at Armed Gods. That's crossing the line, Evan. You're fucking done. And then Marcus,
he told you you were done?
What?
He told you were finished?
Yeah, that's it. You're done at Armed Gods. Like, you're fired. You're gone. That's it. It's over. And then Marcus, being the cunt that he is like, fuck Paul. You're getting a raise. I loved it.
That's my whole point. Because I cannot see you not being at that event. You're one of the faces. Buddy. You're one of the faces of that event. I just don't see it. If Marcus and Paul got to sit down and kind of iron some things out, so be it, whatever. But
I think Marcus and Paul should have a tack match / beer can off, and they can sort it out. I'll watch that too. I'll pay the $4.99 just to watch that.
So your next match, are you allowed to talk about it?
Well, my next match is at the MAC.
It's in New York, but I don't want you breaking rules if you can't talk about it.
Why couldn't I talk about it?
You know how some people are. We can't talk about it, but I don't know. Like, can you talk about who your opponent is and stuff?
Yeah. So the MAC, are you familiar with the league?
Yeah.
Okay. My buddy Ian is the one putting it all together.
Yeah, Cardi.
He asked me if I would pull at it and help put on a show, and he very kindly asked me not to go too far. Let's have fun. We'll put on a show. We're trying to do something here. And he laid all that out to me. I'm like, okay, I get it. Make sure the guy knows not to touch me then.
Right.
Because I'm not going to let that happen. At that point, it's their fault, I think. But either way, he's like, yeah. I said, okay. He wanted me to pull Tim Lewis left-handed.
Oh, God.
I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's a match that I win real easily. And I can put on a show because I don't have to pay attention to the arm wrestling at all. I can just run around, talk to the crowd, do whatever I want. That's an easy match. But the problem with taking a left-handed match a month after Armed Gods, like, I have no idea what kind of shape my left arm's going to be in after this tack match. I have no idea how this is going to go. Like, Uncle John's a bad dude. He is strong as all hell right now. And I may get chewed up pretty good.
Yeah, I see that.
So I don't know about, also he wants you to be 220. I'm like, well, I'm like 270 showing up for Uncle John.
Wait, who?
Lose 50 pounds in a month and a half?
Who wants you to be 220?
Tim Lewis wanted me at 220.
What the fuck? Then why even go through this match then? Like,
well, that's what I said to him. Like, look, I have no idea what my left arm is going to be like when I get back from Armed Gods. And I'm not trying to keep my weight low for this Armed Gods match. So I have no idea if I can make 220, and I have no idea if my left arm is going to be capable of arm wrestling a month after. So I will let you know when I get back. And then he's like, okay, well, then let's just scratch that. How's your right? So the right's fine. Said, okay, I'll get you a right-handed match. He's like, can you please give me somebody in that Tim Lewis level where I can whoop their ass easily? I would like a fucking softball for one of these matches. I got this thing where I like to fight, and it's hard to get excited when I'm a heavy favorite. I like being the underdog. I like fighting these dudes that are awesome.
Right.
You know, losing isn't that big of a deal. But I don't want a bunch of fucking, I'm not trying to pad my record, right?
Right.
Also, Dean, I fucking hope so. I fucking loved it in Wales last time. Oh, man. I got punched in the mouth by Marcus like 4 fucking times at the last Wales event.
Is that the one where they had to carry in the wheel? Who got carried in the wheelbarrow?
So that was Valhalla 1, and that was White Wolf. He had to get wheelbarrowed home the night before the event. Mindaugas and my boy Big B took turns. I pulled Jody in a tag match.
I'm sure you would. Here we go. I knew somebody was going to say something. I knew somebody was going to say that.
I recall Jody Williams asking me for matches a bunch of times.
Yeah, this never happened. Long time ago, this never happened. So
yeah, well, I mean, here's your opportunity, Jody.
I don't do tag matches.
You haven't, but I never did a tag match until last weekend either.
No, what I'm saying is that I will not partake in a tag match.
Pussy.
Hey, well, are you pulling a tag match at Carnegie's event?
No.
I mean, if you want
Carnegie's event's not Arm Gods.
So only in Arm Gods you can get away with that, right? So from here on out, any Arm Gods match, it has to be a tag match according to you, or no?
No, I never said anything like that. I said I'm not interested in pulling a tag match at the MAC.
Right.
You know, you're not going to see that there. You're not going to see it at East versus West, but you can see it at Arm Gods. So if anybody's interested in doing a tag match, it's a lot easier to pitch it to the promoters at Arm Gods. Like, you know what? Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know who this guy is.
Clifton Erickson? Yeah, he's from the Dakotas.
Well, I mean, he's probably really good if he wants to pull me, because I don't get fucking easy matches like I was saying. So back to that, I told Ian, yeah, I would love, give me a fucking softball. I've been fucking chasing these fucking like legitimate fucking top level guys, and I just keep coming up short. Also, fuck you for that, by the way, saying that the match was a flop, me against Paul. That was a tough fucking fight, and it took a long fucking time to recover from that one. That shit hurt.
I said it was a 3-0 beatdown flop.
It was 4-0, but you said the match was a flop. It wasn't even competitive. Motherfucker, yes, it was. I promise you that was not easy for Paul either. The score does not mean that it's a complete fucking walkthrough. You could fight 4 rounds hard.
Oh, yeah, I've been there before.
Even though the score is 4-0.
Oh, trust me, I've been there. I've gone over to the other continent and felt that before. So yeah.
Right. I mean, I got my hand blown up in the first 7 rounds of round 1, and then I had to hang out on my elbow and just keep fucking trying, hoping my arm doesn't break by the end of it.
Then why do you keep getting like that?
Because my hand gets taken from me and I refuse to let my arm go.
Get your shoulder behind it.
Easy to say, hard to do. Paul Maiden is a good arm wrestler. You think he's just going to stand there and let me transition my shoulder? Every time I even start trying to move forward, he starts backing it out. So then I got to retreat from bringing my shoulder in and keep the side just to hold it from going anywhere. And if he lets up a second, I want to bring it back in. Paul's a good arm wrestler. He did not let me get my shoulder. I did get my shoulder around a couple of times and started moving him forward. And the referee, the bitch with the big boobs, she kept fouling me out.
Oh, Judy?
I love Judy. I forgot her name, though.
Yeah, it's Judy. Yeah.
Yeah, Judy from Poland.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Judy. But it's hard to concentrate with her ref, and especially when she's like tying the strap on you. And I'm like, okay, you got to get those off my hands right now. Like, I'm trying to concentrate.
I could tell you couldn't focus. I'm like, Evan, what the fuck are you doing? You're like, it was like you weren't ready. You were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, well, what are you supposed to do? It's not my fault, man. I told them flat out, look, if you're getting them to arm wrestle or referee again, please not on my match. Like, I can't pay attention.
Well, it's a good thing she didn't referee your thumbtack match.
Right. I like how you switched your words there.
Hey.
So either way, back to this next matchup. I asked for like not necessarily a gimme, but something that I could win this time. Like
When was the last time you won a match?
So I don't know if I can mention his name yet, but
okay.
I don't know if it's announced yet or not. So I get the guy's name, and I'm like, okay, well, I've never heard of him, and okay, it's like, well, he's like 2 years in the sport. He's real strong, but he's fairly new. You'll probably out wrestle him. Okay, so I messaged the guy up like, hey man, what's going on? Introduce myself. Like, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm just unfamiliar with your body of work. I don't know who the favorite is in this matchup. He's like, no, definitely you, but I like trying to get my name out there. You've got a name, but yeah, you're probably a big favorite. So, okay. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself and where are the lines that I'm not allowed crossing whenever I, make fun of you. I said, well, just don't mention my family and we're good. So immediately I started like making notes of jokes I could make about his family. What?
Wait, so you do that, but yet Paul's like, I'm gonna slap your wife, and all of a sudden it's different now?
I didn't say I'm gonna make the jokes. I just started writing them down.
Gotcha.
I'll probably make a few of them. I like to push the line. Look, if I get smacked for crossing the line that I know is the line, I'm not gonna get all pissy about it. I'm like, okay, I earned it. I got it.
Right. No, I mean, I will say this for you. You said, hey, I can lose through nothing. I still talk shit. Who was that one that guy that you pulled in Chance's buddy? What's that dude?
Oh, Emil.
Yes.
Dude, I almost had that motherfucker. And Emil will tell you the same thing. So I didn't do any research about that guy. In that first round, I went straight sideways with my shoulder because that's my ace right-handed. And right. I went first. I had my shoulder all the way in. I got everything I'm looking for. That's about as perfect of a start as I could get. And he caught it and threw me off the fucking table. I'm like, whoa.
And had the audacity to get a rub down.
I didn't know that he'd beaten Sanders in a hook before, though.
Oh, they set you up?
Yeah, Chance fucked me around on that one. So there I'm like, okay, hooking is not an option. I guess we're going to have to try to figure out how to top roll with the right hand like right now.
Right.
And I felt a little something in round 2. Round 3, I got to stop. It took a few surges. And even Emil said that was like 2.5 centimeters high. That's like an inch, right? Mm-hmm. It was a really high pin because the refs don't like me, which is fine. I understand why they don't like me. I'm a dickhead.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't.
Even Emil saying that, that's like an inch high. You know yourself when you're arm wrestling. You know how high it is, and it was not low enough for them to even call a pin, except for being dickheads. And his elbow completely tore. He had no other round in him. He was fucked. He was out for a year after that.
Yeah, he'd been quiet after that. I was like,
so, had they not called that high pin, I don't think he was getting the pin that round. And he couldn't have come back to the table for the next round. So I would have won that match had I went top roll first hand and not gotten thrown off the table in that hook in the first round, right? There would still be another round. I fucked up. And I wasn't that far off. I know he doesn't quite look that way, but that's how I felt in the match. That's what I feel about it. So I asked this guy, like, tell me about yourself. I'd like to learn some shit about you so I can make fun of you properly.
Like, do you have any video out?
Yeah, I found some video. He's like, well, I played in the NFL for a year. What? You did what? Like, yeah, Carolina. I'm like, motherfucker. What? I don't care if you got cut after a year. You are a freak fucking level of athlete if you're a 6 foot, 240-pound white dude playing in the NFL.
Wow.
Right? Like,
yeah,
that is a freak level of fucking athlete. I'm like, God damn it, Carnegie. What happened to, like, I don't want another one of these tough motherfuckers, especially one that doesn't even have a name established. Now I'm losing to fucking nobodies. Fuck's sakes, Ian. What did you do? Like, why would you do this to me, man? He's like, yeah, so after I played there for a year, and then I got out of football, and I started into Olympic lifting, and I represented Team USA at the Pan Am Games. I'm like, motherfucker.
Why they setting you up like that?
I guess not. Fucking stop. The only thing I got going is that he's only 2 years in the sport.
Damn.
And all of the videos I'm seeing of him is like a year ago where he was getting pretty fucking good. And he's like, yeah. So I've just never quite gotten to be able to translate all of my power onto the table. But I think I'm really starting to get it down now. And a year ago, I'm watching footage from a year ago. So he's way better now, thinking, fuck, he's actually not bad. Like, he's fucking strong. He's slightly out of position on this shit, but he's having good matches with dudes that I have matches with. Right. So now he's got another year. So yeah, once again, Evan's fucked. Great.
Benji Max is finally someone at your level, Evan.
Or right, until he heard the rest of it, right?
My word. Good Lord.
But he arm wrestles in a style that is very complimentary for me right-handed. Mm-hmm. I don't have to try to fight him for what positions we're going to. We both kind of want to go the same way. So I'm hoping we get like that Connor Sale, Matt Smith type of both guys just smashing at it.
Just go in there and grind it out and may the best man win. When is that date, actually?
May 25th.
Okay, May 25th. Hey, at least it's right-handed.
Yeah, well, the left needs a bit. Uncle John, he yanked on me like that strap yank. Man, that is one of the douchiest things you can do in arm wrestling is that strap yank.
Oh, he did the bull hurley then? That bullshit right there?
Yeah.
There was that one guy that did Tim Breslin like that in 2009 Worlds.
Oh, the Italian or whatever.
That dude, he was from Hungary, I think.
Yeah, and all the Team USA fucking scurried off, and it was just the Canadians run up behind them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Clearly.
Yeah. That was bullshit too. But
yeah, well, Uncle John gave me that strap yank in between round 4 and 5, and I felt my elbow pop. And round 5, like I didn't have anything there. I'm trying to set up to get that last round. Like it's 2-2. And I just want one more time to put him into the tax. Right. And there was just absolutely nothing. It'll take a bit of time to fix that left up a bit now.
There you go.
I would do barbed wire. I will not do razor wire.
What's the difference?
One's a razor.
They still cut you.
Well, barbs poke you. Razors will slice you.
But if somebody goes in like that and drags you back, then...
Okay, that'll poke and rip. If it's a fucking razor... So a razor wire is just like a spool of razor that's all twisted up. Like it's a fucking razor blade.
Yeah.
Where a barbed wire is just a normal wire fence with a bunch of knots with barbs.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah, barbed wire is way, way safer to play with.
There's nothing safe about any of it.
So?
Nothing safe about anything.
What? Are you a liberal?
No.
You need cancel culture going around?
No.
Everybody boycott arm gods. They're trying to ruin arm wrestling. You're not allowed to watch it because I don't like it.
Wow. That is not what I'm saying. Never did I say that. Never did I say that.
I'm pretty sure that was actually a direct quote of yours, verbatim.
Arm gods is ruining the sport?
You just said it right there.
No, I'm asking you.
Yeah, but you just said it. I'm going to make a clip of you saying that. And I'm just going to post this is what Jody Williams thinks.
Yeah, I think that the matches, that particular match, like I said before, the rest of the matches, I'm not talking about the oneness of the weekend, but the lineup, the card was like, shit, that's pretty bad.
I would like you to go over to armgods.com, watch the entire event, and see if you actually want to turn it off when the tag match comes up. Then you can really actually pass a fair judgment.
Okay.
Right. It's really hard for somebody that hasn't watched the event to talk about it, even though you're saying good things about everything else about it except for the last match. But I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy the match itself. Yeah, Arm Shock. Those pin pads, they're going to be running live voltage.
Is that the one in Ireland?
That'll be Wales.
Or Wales? Is that the next one?
Yeah. It's awesome. Dude, like I said, if it's the last match of the day, feel free to turn it off if you don't like it. But everybody that I've talked to that had a negative opinion of arm tags and thinking it's stupid and you're ruining the sport, blah, blah, blah. Okay, feel free to say that. Did you watch the match? Do you know what you're talking about? Yeah, I watched it. So you watched it, but you could have turned it off. Why didn't you just turn it off if you don't like it? You're the only person I've talked to that had a negative opinion that hasn't seen it. But everybody else, these fucking hypocrites, they are glued to their screen, fucking cranking it, watching, jerking off like a fucking demon and loving it and then being mad about it, right? Ron Bath did not like it. Yet when I looked around between rounds, Ron was standing on his fucking chair to get a better look.
Wait, Ron said he didn't like it?
Yeah. Oh, Ron almost murdered Uncle John after the show because he was mad about it.
Really?
Yeah, Ron's going to be coming on my show on Tuesday, and we're going to have some conversations about it. Because Ron came and got right in my face about it. I'm like, Ron, look, we're allowed to have a difference of opinions, but, like, don't touch me, mate. Like, you were getting real close and aggressive. And then he's like, no, I'm not trying to fight. Just, I'm telling you what I think.
Right.
So the tag match will be released this Sunday. Jody, don't even wait. Go watch the entire event. Also, I'll give you a little spoiler, a little teaser here. I attempted to take the title of the biggest douchebag move ever pulled in arm wrestling. I tried to take that from Uncle John. I tried to beat his javelin for the biggest douchebag move ever pulled.
Wow. Oh,
yeah.
Shit. I'm laughing. I'm trying to picture that. That's why I'm laughing.
I think I got it. Also, after the match was over, this isn't a spoiler because the match is already over. Being classy as I am and humble in defeat, I walked up and I congratulated Uncle John for the win. And then I shook his hand. And as soon as he grabbed my hand, I buried him into the tacks one more time because I'm salty like that.
That was almost part 2 coming up. That's what you know. So Seth Dixon has a couple things. First one says, I watched it. My problem. And then he says, is that was obviously a setup.
My problem is that it was obviously a setup. Those comments need to be put together. I watched it. My problem is that it was obviously a setup.
Is that it was up?
Read the comment before. You have to put them together. My problem is that it was obviously a setup. He didn't mean to split them.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, the match was not a setup.
Well, like I said, then he says, too much WWE.
Dude, if you're going to tell me it's a problem to turn this into WWE, you go ahead and take a look at any arm wrestler's yearly salary from arm wrestling. And then you go look at any WWE's yearly salary, any one of those superstars' yearly salary, and then come back and tell me as an arm wrestler, wait, I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of that WWE style money though. Right? There is millions and millions of fucking people that tune in every Friday night to watch SmackDown. And not that many tuning in to watch any fucking arm wrestling. So you can't tell me that drama doesn't sell and stupid doesn't hurt and people like watching. I don't like watching people get injured.
I try to watch.
I don't mind watching people get hurt. How many stupid fail videos have you ever watched on YouTube?
Well, who doesn't?
Right, because it's fucking entertaining. It's fun. Pain is funny when it's not yours. I don't like people actually getting fucked up and injured.
No.
But, people fuck up skateboard's funny.
Wouldn't arm wrestling be the most boring sport ever if it was all like King of the Table? I think there is room for all events in arm wrestling community. In my humble opinion, I think that's what he says. In my humble opinion, Arm Gods is the best. And, I'm just a fan of arm wrestling itself. So it ain't going to bother me if it's, knuckles up.
Right.
Or
I'm not a fan of cunts up, but if you watch arm wrestling as a whole, that's the problem with arm wrestling, and that's why it's got such a small fan base. It's fucking boring. If you're not an arm wrestler that knows what's going on, or you don't know somebody in the match, nobody gives a fuck. And I'm talking about the masses, not guys like me and you who have been doing it for over a decade that love arm wrestling. We're going to watch all of it because we love the sport. We see the small stuff happening, the little intricacies, and we understand it. The general public does not, and they don't care. If it's 10 minutes of setup, 3 elbow fouls later, we didn't even see a goddamn match. Nobody wants to see it. It's fucking boring.
And maybe because...
You know when it's not boring? When I go up to the table. Now, you may not like it, but you'll remember it. Why am I the most known arm wrestler in the world that's at the lowest level?
Here's the thing, Evan. Here's my thing. Because aside from the thumbtack match, I think you're entertaining.
You haven't watched the thumbtack match.
You're right. I haven't.
You should really be obligated. Let's consider you as a journalist for this conversation. You're like spreading the news, talking about arm wrestling like you do ArmTalk. It's almost like journalism, basically, right? Mm-hmm. You should be prepared, do your job, and do the research, know what it is that we're talking about clearly. You should watch the ArmTalk match. You are crazy not to watch it.
Oh, and I'll be crazy, but I know, from my opinion about you, you didn't need to have that match, and you're still entertaining. Don't need to have that match. What's that?
I wanted to have that match. Up until about half an hour before the match when I'm walking around, I'm like, guys, is it too late to fake COVID and just go home? Like, I don't want to do this. This seems really fucking dumb now. Like, God, now I don't want to do it. But then my music comes on. I feel that energy coming through. I'm walking out, and everything changes. I'm ready to fight. And I had the best time of my life doing that tag match. It was incredible. I mean, yeah, it hurt, but it was awesome. So once again, if you don't like it, it's the final match. Turn it off. Don't watch it. Jody, you should go and watch it anyways. Most people, if they're like, I don't like it, don't watch it. Fuck off. I don't care. Right. I think you should watch it, and then we'll talk about it again and see if your opinions change, because I'm telling you, it's worth the watch. Also, do you think we can actually hurt arm wrestling? If it's only the purists that watch East versus West King of the Table. Now, let's leave cards that have Devin on it off, because Devin brings a whole different scenario to it, because Devin has a lot of fans and people are watching Devin, not arm wrestling. Oh,
okay. Right? So we're taking that.
So let's take an East versus West card that doesn't have Devin on it. Okay. They're going to get X amount of pay-per-views, and it's all going to be the purist arm wrestlers that love arm wrestling. Is anybody not going to buy an East versus West pay-per-view because of what I did in Ireland? The answer is no. Nobody's going to not watch that because of what we did at Arm Gods. Nobody. Right? If they don't like it, don't watch it. Cool. Still watch East versus West. Now, if we draw a lot of eyes to this, people like seeing dumb shit. If you get hundreds of thousands, millions of fucking random views because somebody getting arm wrestled in attacks might be one of those things that people just watch for that entertainment. Mm-hmm. They're not arm wrestling fans. They don't want to watch arm wrestling. They want to see fucking dumb shit like that. Okay, so now you get a bunch of people that see arm wrestling that have never seen it before. Maybe some of them are like, you know what? I'm not an arm wrestling fan, but I am an Arm Gods fan.
Right.
Right. Now, if you build a base over there, some of these guys are going to be like, you know what? Arm wrestling's fucking pretty interesting to me. And they are now going to start watching East versus West and King of the Table. There is definitely a possibility that we can help their numbers grow. But there is no way we can hurt them. Right? It is not a lose-lose. It's a win-win or win-tie. Like, there's no hurting. Right? Except for this fucking Levi twat who quit arm wrestling because... Look,
I don't even want to get into that right now.
Because I had a bloody tack match. You don't love arm wrestling. You're just a twat. So he's really quit arm wrestling because his girlfriend broke her arm.
How did it affect him? Though? Well, okay, I don't even want to get to that.
That's what his girlfriend broke her arm at Winter Blast. Snapped it clean in half.
Yeah, there were like 2 arm breaks. I didn't see hers, but I saw the other one. So, but
so him quitting arm wrestling, it's got to have more to do with her arm break than it does to what we were doing over in Ireland while they were at Winter Blast. Like, come on. If you quit arm wrestling, you're one of the top fucking guys at 154. If you were one of the top guys at 154 in the country, and you're going to quit arm wrestling because of what Arm Gods did, to that I say, good. Fuck off, you twat.
Well, here's my thing, Evan. What it's hard for me to separate because I've been in the sport 14 years. So maybe it's hard for me to put the natural, outsider hat on to see what arm wrestling is about. I'm 14 years in this, so I'll see things from a different lens, and maybe that's my problem.
Dude, I mean, I'm not far behind you. I started 2012.
Right. So I'm just.
But I mean, we just had the conversation where I explained to you how I see it, and you agree that we can't really hurt arm wrestling, but there is a possibility that something like this can attract a lot of attention and help grow everybody. And you will be hard pressed to name people on your fingers that have done more to help the sport grow than I have. Like, I've been in TV shows. I've had Vice do a documentary on me. I'm doing shit like this that gets attention.
Arm Nation.
Right. So how many guys do you know that have done what I've done to help grow the sport?
You from a crazy standpoint or just in general?
Just
from a
in
social
general.
media?
No, I mean, anybody that runs a major promotion, okay? Anybody that was on Game of Arms has done a lot. But I mean, most of the guys, you didn't, unless you're an actual arm wrestling fan, you wouldn't know who any of them are. You're going to remember a few of them from that show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that.
Oh, it says Jody send Paul the link and let him on the show to explain. Oh.
Wow, I don't need Jody to do it. I'll send it to him.
Well, there you go. But
I don't care if Jody wants Paul on his show. I do. And I don't like Paul.
Oh, you guys are fine. You like him.
We get along. He's kind of my boss at Arm Gods. But no, I think Paul is an absolute fucking cunt. I don't know if you can read this or not.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that.
No, I keep that on there. Just remind myself every day, like, no, Paul's a fucking dickhead.
We're supposed to accept people that identify as a turnip, but we can't accept entertaining arm wrestling oddity. Like, okay, again, he didn't say Jody can't. He's talking about the masses here. See, you take everything as a personal attack. Are you sure you're not a Democrat? Like, next thing you're going to do is you're going to call me racist because I came up with valid points about why the thumbtack match doesn't hurt people. I don't need any Eric Carlin bullshit today, man. I know it's Friday. Usually he kind of peeks out of the bushes on Fridays. I don't need that.
Did I say anything racist? The only thing I said that was racist was about my upcoming opponent being an undersized white guy in the NFL. And why does race have anything to do with it? That was racist of me. But it's against white people, so I'm allowed to. It's not actually racist when it's against white people.
But that's not racist, though.
Oh, right, because it's against white people.
No. You just said, what, undersized white dude?
Yeah.
That's not racist.
Why?
It's not a personal attack to anybody.
White dudes.
What?
I have way too much fun, man.
Do you want me to send that link to Paul?
I already did, I think.
Is he popping on here or what?
I mean, you can send it too.
Because I'm telling you right now, I can't wait to see this, match between you and. So is the 10 Lewis thing coming on or not? Because that for him to sit there and say, "Oh, you got to be 220."
Yeah, so that's not going to be happening. That's why I got the right-handed match with this dude.
Smart man.
I mean, right now, my elbow is a little fucked up. I don't know, but I don't think I would really need it to deal with Tim Lewis. My hand's a little chewed up, but that's not that bad. It hurts more whenever I put my hand into my pocket and like everything's rubbing, But all in all, I came out of it pretty healthy. Just whatever. It's a little bit of owies. I don't know how to fucking WhatsApp. I don't know how to switch a link from one place to another. I just sent it to you on your fucking Facebook. Open it.
I just sent the link to him too, so hopefully he gets on here.
Maybe I could do it this way.
All right. The Claymore Arm Wrestling Channel says, "I'd love to see the sport in the same situation like darts or something."
Okay, I got it there. What was that? What was the claimer saying?
He said, I would love to see the sport in the same situation like darts or something.
Look, darts is fucking boring. And those guys making millions of fucking dollars.
Okay, so
I got a funny thing real quick about comparing it with darts. We were running around drinking at all the pubs in Ireland all week before the event, and we would hang up the Arm Gods posters at the bar and talk to all the patrons and everything else. And a couple of guys, Squirrely Dan, I like that guy, he's funny. He decided he was going to come check out the show. He couldn't stay for the whole thing because he had to be up super early in the morning for work. But he brought one of his buddies, and they came and watched the show. And his buddy was like, it's probably going to be something stupid like fucking darts where I'm just going to be fucking pissed off watching it. And I'm telling you, you're paying my fucking admission, my ticket price if it's stupid like darts is.
Right.
Okay. So they came and watched it. And that dude's running around buying the arm wrestlers beers, telling everybody how awesome this is. Like, I don't know if I'm a fan of arm wrestling, but I'm a fan of Arm Gods. And both of those guys went home before the show got to end, pissed off that they weren't going to get to see the end. And immediately went home, went to bed, woke up in the morning, logged in, and signed up at armgods.com so that they could watch the rest of the event the next day. So people that are giving it a try are loving it. And it is not the same watching it at home as it is being there in person. Arm Gods is amazing. I would like to see Arm Gods do that team thing a little more.
No, the Team Canada versus
that
Team
we got in Ottawa when it was UK versus Canada. Yeah. And you've got the two coaches for the teams, and they're sitting beside each other. And
okay, see, that was fun. I like that.
It was amazing.
Don't know why you guys
really had the crowd atmosphere going nuts.
But okay, see, that's my point, Evan. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I mean, I don't know why
you guys could have been finished with a fucking tack match.
You didn't have to see. Y'all didn't have to do all that. That's my whole point.
We don't have to. We don't have to. But like I said, it cannot hurt anybody else. If it's the last match, you can turn it off. You don't got to watch it. And it can help. So, to each their own. You like drinking tea, and I think you're weird about it. Whatever. I just don't drink tea. I don't have to sit here and hate about you drinking tea. I don't give a fuck if you drink tea.
Right.
I'll drink my beer. And if you got a problem with me drinking my beer, fuck off. I don't care.
Well, I like Crown Royal, by the way, but yeah.
Oh, gross.
Man,
if you're gonna drink whiskey, at least get the good stuff. Crown Royal.
Yeah.
It's way too fucking sweet.
I like sweet stuff. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yet you hate me. I'm sweet as I get.
So here's my thing. And this is you and me. I'm being serious now. Here we go. I think Evan does a lot for the sport as far as entertainment and bringing eyes to it. You were entertaining me before last weekend. You were already entertaining. That's my honest opinion. Right. All I'm saying is that it didn't have to come down to that. It's like, you don't have to do all that because Evan sells himself. Uncle John sells himself. I would have, man, you didn't have to go through all that. That's like, you guys are too well respected, in my opinion, to have a fucking thumbtack match. That's all I'm saying.
Right. We didn't have to. Right. We wanted to.
Okay.
Like, I don't regret doing it. It hurts. It does hurt. But it's worth it.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I have been through far more painful things in my life. Look, every time you feel those tacks go into, you're like, oh, fuck, that hurts. But I'm still more upset. It hurts more to lose to John than it does to lose to Tax. Right? Like, it's just physical pain. It's not that big of a deal. Right. Everybody needs to stop being such pussies in life. Seriously. Like, I'm not joking about that. The world is full of fucking pussies now. It's offensive. I think the fucking people that are so butthurt over fucking everything is far more offensive than a fucking tack match.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and when I got into the sport, arm wrestling wasn't like it is now. We didn't have troll. Well, you had one troll. I'm not gonna mention his name. You
Was
hate
it the
him.
stop sign?
No. Well, I
So
mean,
then you had more than one troll.
well, the troll of all trolls.
Pete?
Nah.
Or are you talking about the little fucking prick that I threw out of the sport, literally?
Yep. I said I wasn't gonna mention his name, but you know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
I literally threw him out of the sport.
Hey, we
He
have
hasn't been to
a
an event since.
check this out. Bonus coverage.
Well.
This seems like it's my cue to sign off.
No, you stay there. You stay there, Evan. You stay there. Because listen, let me just. I promise you, Jordy, I'm going to try not swear. Why it's your show.
The whole time.
Well, listen. All I've got to say is the tag match was my idea. The tag match is what the future will be in hardcore arm wrestling. People might not like it, and this is the truth. It's not for everyone. You choose not to watch it. You were supporting it 2 weeks ago. Then, Jordy, you refused to watch it. Well, end of the day, you've not give it the fair crack of the whip. Yeah, Evan and Uncle John, what they did was out of order. But that doesn't take it away from the match. Some people left their seats. Some people sat there and stared. Some people were flabbergasted. Others loved it. And this is the thing. We gave 16 unbelievable arm wrestling matches with world-class stars. Fact. We had an hardcore match. Everyone knew it was coming. We are pushing the boundaries. Me and Marcus started from a tiny little stage when we first did our one in Portadown, and we've moved from gyms with vinyl backing to a smoke machine to a $9.99 disco light to the point where we are sticking on major production. Now, the truth is, people are scared of what we can achieve because we are doers, right? People got to understand, this is me and Marcus. We're two people. We're now starting to get people helping, like people with social media. There's little bits of positions that are available. We're going to take over the world 3 to 5 years, and we are the one. We're the only one. Because the truth is, everybody else needs drug money and fucking shit money and all this bullshit. We don't. We don't. Because the truth is, like, you've got Arm Wars, Back to the Future. Okay, what's that achieving? It's falling on its arse. Like, Neil's going sucking everyone's cock now on all these other promotions.
Yeah. Swearing.
Sorry, Evan. He's going around
giving. We can swear now.
He's going giving everyone a gobble, like, on all these promotions. He's like the biggest. He's like, Neil's like a local bike. Like, he's like the slag of arm wrestling, because he'll just move from promotion to promotion, like, just because, like, that's what he does. He wants to stay relevant. Well, he's not relevant, right? The only way Neil could be relevant, and I'll put this out here now. How's about Arm Wars and Arm Gods work together? We do the live, and Neil does the edits, and we work together, and we'll become one in the UK and Ireland. That's one for Neil. What do you think about that, Evan?
I think you're fucking dumb.
Right, anyway, and a second. No, so let's get back to the point.
Do the live when Neil releases it live 4 months later.
That's what I said. He does the edits and we do the live. So, listen, but on a serious note, right, all I'm saying is this. We have got ArmShock. We have bought the website. We have bought the line. We called there's ArmShock. There's going to be an electrocution match at some point towards the end of the year. Now, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I appreciate that, Jordy. But then what arm wrestling, it's like we're back in the dark ages anyway. I mean, what's it achieved? Where's it come from? Because you can say we've got East versus West, King of the Wankers, or whatever else, or Cunts Up, or whatever, right? But what they're doing nothing different than what's not got arm wrestling anywhere. Arm wrestling has been on ESPN. Arm wrestling has had the biggest backers in the world, with billionaires, Stephen Kaplan of WAL, right? You've had Robert Drenk, UAL, multi-millionaire. Yep. Yeah, we've been on a basketball show, American football shows. But there's a movie been made of it. But where is it? It's still 20, 30 years behind any other sport. Why? Ask yourself why. Because it's not appealing to the world. It appeals to a handful of people which work out at 0.0001% of the world who like arm wrestling. I am a purist arm wrestler. Evan's a purist arm wrestler. But we're not stupid enough to think that that's going to make it. Because if it hasn't made it already in all this time, then when's it going to make it? Because that's what I'm trying to put across. Like, we had slap fighting just sold for $400 million. Yeah, we all said that was stupid. But the guy who's made the Brewsters isn't stupid. The millionaire guys who've been slapping each other are not stupid.
Yes,
we move off into
dumber soon.
We started with UFC. They had no gloves. They could kick you in the bollocks. They could finger your arsehole. They could gouge your eyes. And then they made rules. Then you got 4-ounce gloves instead of bare knuckles, etc. But that's not enough. That moved on. But what have we got now? We've got world bare knuckle fighting. No one says anything about that. People getting punched with bare knuckles, eyes popping out, being split open. They're millionaires. You've got millionaire fighters. You've got thousands of people wanting it because in human nature, they want to see combat. They want to see blood. They want to see people fall off a bicycle and break a leg. Fact. They want to see free runners jump on a building and drop off and break the nose or fucking land on the stones. They want to people send out millions and they get millions of views on YouTube of people like falling off a ladder or fucking being hit with a golf ball or some stupid shit. But what's got more views? Evan's video, my video, your video, with like 30 odd people watching, or that video with some stupid guy dangling off a building with one hand who's got 35 million views, getting $1,000 a view because that guy is what's made it. And that is the way of the world. And that's the truth. I'm not saying at this moment in time that we have the perfect solution to it all, because we don't. I mean, we're practically perfect. We're like Mary Poppins, but we're just not there yet. And it might not be us who goes and makes it, but it's also not going to be what everyone's been doing. No, there has to be something different. There has to be something new. We may be a little bit too extreme for the arm wrestling world. We're probably 20 years in the future. Maybe we are. But we are the only ones, right, with traveling fans. You name me another organisation, apart from a few people who picked from a bigger pool who got East versus West VIPs. Tell me, because I'll tell you now, we've got Wolfie, we've got fucking Spermies, we've got the Muscle Bike, we've got Roy Bakers of the world, you know, and lots more. These usual suspect guys are now the Arm Gods Army. Right, me and Jake had a conversation. Jen Wall can back me up. And Jake Ward said to me that he was unhappy because the Arm Gods Army are going in everyone's chat and going, awoo, awoo, awoo. Right? And we all know the rest of the story. Right? That's facts. But he said to me, it's a bit too much. I said, why? I said, because we have got fans. You want to tell me that I'm going to not send my army, or, well, not what we send them because we don't, but I'm going to ask the army not to support us, not to promote us when it's their wish, what they want to do.
Right.
And all these things come to it, you know, like we different. Yeah, I granted. We've got this pay-per-view model that we have. We're the only one with a website. We always thinking outside of the box. Are we too far in front of the world? Maybe. But Luke, everyone else follows. East versus West followed our thing. They grew the pads. You know, pumps up. You know, they start picking all our lights and all the rest of the shit. People like are looking at us. We are pioneers. We are pioneers of this arm wrestling sport. Not just Arm Gods, I mean everyone, because we're still, I always say this, because we're so early in the world and sport of arm wrestling. We're all so early. We are pulling apart from it. Well, we're not pulling apart because we don't care. We don't give a fuck. But every other organisation wants to squeeze it, put it into a little ball and keep it to themselves. That's what they do. That's why this sport won't grow, because there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians. And that's how it is.
So let me ask you a question. And what Evan said, you're upset with him after the press conference with the beer can over the head. So are you okay with that?
No, you know what, right? Okay. So me and Evan, we had a bit last year, and that was it. It was settled. The truth is, Evan thinks I'm all right, and I think he's all right. You know, we're not going to fall out. We've had our thing. We've gained respect for each other. Whether or not we loved each other or not, we probably won't sit down and drink together. But the thing is, I have respect for him for battling me, and he has it for me, and I have it for him, and that's just fact. But what he did, I didn't condone, right? And me and Marcus had a chat. You know, I said he was sacked and he was done. I'm not having this. And I spoke to both men. You've got to understand, they both had a bollocking, right? Whether Evan sticks up and thinks he's Billy Big Balls or not, I'm the fucking boss, me and Marcus, right? Now, what he did was out of order. And if he does it again, he's gone, right? But we wasn't stopping a match. We wasn't stopping that match because Uncle John, you know, he played his part and this dickhead played his. But end of the day, it is what it is. And it's entertainment, you know. People say, oh, well, why do you want to make it WWE? Well, when wrestling first started, you know, in the early days, and they were just having matches, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, and all the other bullshit. There were no barbed wire matches. There were no tag matches or cage matches, Hell in the Cells. We're not going to have one every time. It's not as though we're going to do a tag match every single time. But no one said anything about that in wrestling. I mean, you got to remember, for fucking 40 years, everyone thought wrestling were real. It was so taboo, you know. Everyone thought, you know, it was fake, and it was like everyone thought it was real. And
Right.
you know, so like we've had a tag match, yeah. We shocked the world. It won't be the last one. And when ArmShock comes out, Jody, and people are getting electrocuted, like we're not talking like 50,000 volts throwing them over a table, but I guarantee you that ArmShock becomes bigger than any other arm wrestling organization because people want to see that. I mean, you imagine you're in a group of your friends, right? College students or whatever you may be. You go to college with an arm wrestling table. You go to college with mine and Marcus's Arm God's Arm Shock table. I 1 billion trillion gazillion guarantee you 98% jump on that Arm Shock table because it gives them a zap. Right? And that is where we are in the world today, right? That is just where we are. Right. And if we don't move with the times, then we're done for. Because we'll always stay in that hall like you do with East versus West in the library. And you've got like, you know, 20, like Engen had 25 tables at National Street. 25 tables. It's unbelievable. But how many people are in that room and you're in Turkey? Yeah, like you've got a few people scratching their head, going, yay! You've got Devon Lurat, Denis Siplikov, Levan, Ernst Gasparini, the very best arm wrestlers in the world. The best of the best. The Michael Jordans, the fucking Lionel Messis, right? And you've got fucking 100 people in a room. Like, something's wrong with the sport. Like, we build an atmosphere. Right, okay. We look at other sports, successful sports, football, darts, like even the most boring sport in the world, cricket, does a thing called 2020, where they just whack a ball for 20 overs, and the world goes nuts about it because it's exciting. And one thing they all have in common: they all go there, they all drinking the beer, they've all got music on, they all can hold the thing up saying 6. Or 180, or their own little gimmicky thing, right? Beer involves everything, okay? And that's what anyone says. That's what sponsors look for. You go to boxing, okay? We have massive boxing in UK. We sell out stadiums, 80, 90, 100,000 people. What do? It's a group of friends who are like a bit of boxing, but right. What do? They go out in the morning, they go and drink with their friends in a pub, they go to a stadium at night time. They get pissed in stadium. Half of them don't even see the fight. They have the time of their life, and they go away. They do it in darts. They do it in football, American football. You know, they do it in every sport. And we're not stupid enough and backwards enough to think that, hang on, well, that doesn't work. Because it does. Because we've got billion, multi-billion and trillion pound businesses that show you that it works.
Right. Well, you know, that, we'll go to Arm God's Valhalla 1, you know, and I was glued. So I'm thinking, oh, it's different. They got the red lights going on, people coming out to their music, fist bump each other. You got the pyro going in the background and stuff. And to me, I was like, oh, I like this. I got Beerman with his signature pants on, That's the kind of, and like I said, maybe it's just me because I'm stuck for 14 years in this sport, and maybe I can't see myself as just a common person trying to see what arm wrestling is about. I'm already in there, and maybe that's why it's hard for me to see a thumbtack match because, Evan sells it by himself. Uncle John sells by himself. Paul Maiden, for what you've done in the sport, sells by yourself. And like I said, maybe it's just me looking at it from that lens. And, if it is, then I guess I'm stupid because
Jody, the problem is we already have you. You're already an arm wrestling fan. We're not trying to get you into the sport. You're in. It's everybody else that doesn't give a shit. You can play them any WAF match, any East versus West match. They're going to see, okay, even if it's a 3-2 finish, somebody wins 3-2 and it's back and forth.
Right.
There was still 73 elbow fouls called and maybe one pin. And it's more setup than it is match. And there's nothing for the average person to get behind and say, hey, I want to see that again. Now, you and I, Paul, we're going to watch this. We're arm wrestlers. We love arm wrestling. But the average guy, if that's the first arm wrestling match he ever sees, you think he's ever going to watch another one? No. But he sees Uncle John and I walk out. We're getting intense. We are in each other's face. We're telling each other, fuck you. Let's do this. You better get ready to bleed because I am. And then we get buried into tacks. And they're like, oh, shit. Okay. Now they want to rewatch the rest of that whole show. And then they run across that Matt Smith, Connor Sale match. And they're like, holy fuck. Now they're hooked on arm wrestling as a whole, not just the sideshow that got them there in the first place.
Okay, I want Jody. I want you to do a thing on your phone. I want you to go to your YouTube. I want you to go to your analytics, and I want you to tell me under audience what percentage is 17 to 24. All of you, Evan as well. I'll do it. I'll try and do it while I'm on here. I don't want to cut myself off, but I'll try it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let me just look at mine as well. And then we'll definitely get to a thing here.
So you say go to analytics and what else now?
Right, analytics.
Yeah.
Go to
audience.
Where it says audience. Audience. And then look at how many percent is 13 to 17 and 18 to 24.
0.
Go on, carry on. Oh, 0, 0. Okay, go on then, Jody.
Yeah, I'm getting the same.
Oh, yeah. What, 18 to 24 as well?
0.
Okay. What about your 25 to 34?
24.
Okay, go on.
Jody?
Oh, my phone froze up on me. Damn, I might have to do it on my
okay, Evan.
25 to 34, that age bracket, 24%.
So mine, 25 to 34 says 31%.
Okay, 35 to 44, 53%.
Mine is 19%.
And 45 to 54, 22.
I don't even have that one.
So from 55 over, I got 0. And from 24 and under, I got 0. Right? My fan base, and 100% is male. For some reason, I have no its that watch my stuff.
94% male for me, 5% female. United States, 43%. India, 7%. Crazy. Canada, 1%. How the hell does that happen?
I don't know. I'm like 23% for both US and Canada. Okay. Right? Like, but what he's pointing out is we do have a very specific target audience, but those 18 to 24-year-olds will start watching if there's dumb shit. And those 18 to 24-year-olds are glued to their fucking phones all the time, their entire life. They watch a lot of dumb shit. right? That is the major internet market is younger.
Right.
So if nobody, what you do is very different from what I do online. And if neither of us have that younger audience, and that's the audience you want, that's what's going to grow everything in the future as it continues, right?
Why is Paul not coming on?
Dodgy internet over there.
Oh, okay. No, from an analytics standpoint, did he get off now? Okay. No, I see that. I mean, and yours is different from mine. Which is weird because it's just about what you put out. You know what I mean?
Right. So I got a lot of that age group. 40 years old. They like cutting off work at the end of the day, having a few pints, and watching me drink and be an idiot.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why mine kept cutting out. So my 13 to 17-year-olds is 2%. My 17 to 24 is 9.1%. Right? So what does that tell you? Right? I am 10%. I am, low subs as well. And I have got a 10% that you don't have. Well, sorry, 12% in the age groups that you guys don't have. What does this tell you? Right? You fucking geriatric old bastards. Right? Now listen.
This stupid shit.
No, it means I've got Wolf and he's like Jimmy Savile, so he plays his flute and brings all kids in. They've got the Pied Piper, I've got Wolfie. But no, the truth is, I've got 12% that you guys haven't got. And I'll tell you something else. I bet I've got 12% of what a lot of people haven't got. And that is because of what we're doing. Now, last week, I didn't have any of them numbers. None. 0.1%. 0.1%. And now look what I've got. I've got 10% of 17 to 24-year-olds, 2% of 13 to 17-year-olds. That's a tack match.
Right.
That's a tack match. It's got to be. How else have I got that?
Like the YouTube channel itself doubled from Friday night.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we have. Because obviously we had 6,000 odd subs on the other, and then it went a bit pear-shaped, one finger another, and then. But we're back, man. So listen, we're getting new people. We're getting younger people. We're doing it. You think like, okay, so when we have our next one, we have because ArmTalk is right. So you've all seen the Uncle Fester machine where you sit in it and it used to go and shock you back in there.
Yeah.
This is what's happening. So you're going to grab a table. You're going to put your hand on it. It's going to be a vibration pad. What shakes you so you get cramp in your hand and you can't let go. And then on the pad, it's going to be like the old pads where you can see through the pad. And when you touch it, you're going to get shocked on a wire. Probably not too heavy, maybe about 300 volts. Not too much. But it's going to sting. Right? And like I said, this is going to bring all the kids in. This is going to bring the next generation in. And let's say we have, we can bring in 10,000 kids. We might just keep 1,000 of them. We might just keep 10% of them kids, We might keep 5% of them kids. What actually like arm wrestling move off into sport. Listen, it doesn't matter if we get these new people into the sport, right? But there's something for everyone. I mean, people always go on about us having 1,000,001 belts, right? And we do have 1,000,001 belts because we're doing something different than everybody else. We have Northern Area belts. We've got British belts. We've got Commonwealth belts and European belts and hardcore belts and world title belts, independence belts. But we're doing one thing that nobody else is doing in the world. We're creating something for everybody in the world as an opportunity to compete. Everybody in us, everyone within the Iron Gods community has an option or a chance to be at the level they can be. Not all of us can be world title holders. Not all of us can be world Europeans. We've got 28 countries in the Commonwealth. Canada, UK, India, Pakistan, the African countries as well. They don't really get an opportunity, but they can compete for a Commonwealth belt, which is prestigious to us 28 countries. We have a hardcore belt, for the knobheads. Of course, the people who are dickheads like Evan and Uncle John, who are great arm wrestlers, but they're just a little bit tapped. There's something not quite right. There's quite a lot of people like that who enjoy that sort of stuff. It's not for you, Jody. It's not for me. It's not for other guys, but it is for a certain amount of people. And then we have the lesser belts, you know. What belts have you got, Guffer, Jody? What belts, realistically? You have a couple of like belts that random organizations make, but like if you was progressing, right? And let's say you want to win your town level, your state level, and then or whatever else it could be. You know, there has to be progression. We have that from novice to the highest elite professional. We cater for. Nobody else is doing that. It's rather you're the best or you're not. I'm telling you now, East versus West is amazing, right? It's amazing, but they're doing the same suit warmed over. They have world champions. That's it. Why have they not got European champions? Like they bring in the same pullers all the time. They've tied someone like Lachlan O'Deur up, right? Lachlan O'Deur, they tied up purely and simply because they wanted to be a wanker with Ryan Bowen. They don't need Lachlan O'Deur under a contract because what's he bringing to the world? No one looks at Lachlan O'Deur like he's this fucking superstar because he's not. He's no bigger than Evan Bourgoin. He's no bigger than whoever. He's an amazing arm wrestler. He's a dedicated arm wrestler. He's an amazing man. But he doesn't need to be under a contract just for the sake of putting him under one, right? Because that man doesn't need to be kept away from everyone arm wrestling 2 to 3 times a year. He needs to be wrestling 7, 8, 9, 10 times a year, gaining the experience necessary so he can go out there and be the best he can be. Because this is one thing that all them contracts do. They're promising people 2 or 3 matches a year. But can you become... Hang on 1 minute.
Oh, go ahead.
Can you be the best arm wrestler in the world unless you're like really old school and you've been pulling 30 years by pulling 2, 3 times a year? No, you can't. Because you need that experience of stepping up to a table, knowing the referees, knowing your opponents, squaring your shoulders, straightening your wrist. You need that 20 times a year, not 1, 2, or 3 times a year. So they are damaging people like Lachlan O'Deur, who have the potential to be unbelievable arm wrestlers and ultimately elite. They're damaging it. They've done it. They don't need to do it. Like they've fucking tried to ruin AWE. Why? What's AWE gonna do any mischief? And let me read Schmo's comment in a minute, please, Jody. When I finish ranting, because I like Schmo.
Okay, I'll put it back up. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, yeah, bang on. Thanks, Mo. So, you know, so we have all these options, right? We have these options, and all I'm thinking is that, like, I try and take the best from everything, from everyone, right? We don't knock other promotions, only when they start knocking us. But there's one thing about it, like, with this AWE shit, we'd never try and stop them. The other side of the world, they've got an handful of arm wrestlers. It's a personal vendetta. Neil Pickup and Ryan Bowen and Engen and stuff. That was a personal vendetta, but you're not damaging Ryan Bowen. You're damaging all the other people who are working hard to build something in their side of the world, right? Lachlan O'Deur lives 30 hours away from fucking anywhere, but they won't let him pull. They won't let him pull.
Yeah.
So what's he meant to do?
That's what sucks about contracts. But I like how you guys give people opportunities, you know?
Yeah, we give it opportunities, Jordan. And we're always looking for help people out and give them opportunities because we want to like put ourselves out there. You know, but a lot of people, Marcus has his faults, right? And he likes a beer and he threatens everyone. And sometimes he can go online and be a right knobhead, right? And that's the truth. That's the truth.
That's just Marcus.
But the truth is, he's one of the most generous men on the planet. And that's fact. He has helped out so many people that you guys know who I will not speak. Right? It's unbelievable. He wants to build this sport. Sometimes he's in the wrong. Sometimes he's not. But that man is generous. He wants to help out everyone. I mean, look at what he's done for this fucking has-been here. You know what I mean? He helps him out all the time. This scruffy old fucking Stig. And,
no, Paul,
you know, like...
I'm a never was.
Well, yeah, thanks for that. But the truth is, like, we want you on our show, Jody. But we can't have you on our show now because you're an Elm Wars boy and you suck Neil's cock.
Hold on. Whoa.
Wait. What about
you decided?
to do a tack match with me.
No, Jody decided to fly on his own dime to Arm Wars to make another man money while costing him a fortune, and then half his matches don't get shown because he got fucking dry bummed. And then, like, what? Like, that's another thing that we have. Like people say to me, Paul, that's a bit of a mismatch. Well, you know what? Yeah, some of them might be, but we don't make matches for them to be unbelievable matches. We make progressional matches because we look after our guys. Like, no one can say we don't look after them. We look after them the best we can. Yeah, we got Pork Chop and Jordan, but Carl Hutchinson pulled out. We couldn't get Pork Chop a match. And we said, only guy we can get is Jordan. And Pork Chop, being the stud he said, he went, you know what, get me him. And he took it up the arse. Yeah, he did. But Pork Chop will be back at Arm Gods because the man's a fucking beast. But other than that, we try and look at it like a boxing promoter. We try and build you. And if the great matches like Conor Sale and Matt Smith, that's just an absolute bonus. But I want to also keep natural progression moving. And they don't do that in a lot of things. They make it with great matches because people want to see great matches. Of course they do. But they're not thinking about the athlete. They're not thinking about, okay, well, I've got Jody Williams here. And if I get Jody to a Northern champion and then a town champion, a state champion or whatever, I can build you up. 5-6 matches later, you're fighting for a national title or a European title, whatever it could have been, yeah? But right. This is our way of thinking also. And then that's what we do because we're always thinking about the arm wrestler. Like, if we weren't, then I'd just think, right, okay, who can match well with him? Who can match well with him? But when we did Canada versus UK, we didn't pick matches for good matches because the truth is, as Evan will tell you, we did qualifiers. So it could have gone anywhere. Right. But it was country versus country. And then what happened? Devon Larac come out and said, oh, that's the way forward. Team spoke Arm Gods on his private members. He went, oh, Arm Gods did it right. They've got it down. Teams where it is. And cool, we're coming over to America next year. Now, it's not going to be UK versus America. It's going to be Europe versus America. Because we're going to bring a European team, not just a UK team when we come to America. And then we're having America's Cup, which is going to be and then we're going to bring Commonwealth is for us. Then we're having an America's Cup. No one does an America's Cup really. So then we got like a Canada versus America thing, and that'll be an Arm Gods. And then with whatever else we decide to come out with, we've got the independence and all that bullshit. So we're building something and we're trying to do something different so we can involve as many people as possible. And that's because we're thinking about the sport.
Right. I like the country versus country. I like the European Cup. That I like because nobody's doing that. I'm cool with that. I like that. I like that idea because no one else has done that. And if you can be the first on the map to do that, then it's like, oh, well, shit, that'll bring eyes, in my opinion, because, oh, it's country versus country. Pick your favorites. I mean, that's how I see it.
Yeah, and we are the only people to be doing it. Yeah, people have touched on it before and they've done their little bits, but no one's doing it like we are. Like I said, we're not perfect. We're practically perfect, but we're not perfect. And we're going to make mistakes and we're going to do things with trial and error. And yes, we're not everyone's cup of tea, but we're trying and we're honest and we're not deceiving and we don't bullshit. And I did 3 matches 2013 for Arm Wars in Madrid, right? I beat Almeric Pradines, French national champ, who was a fucking animal, been all over, won in A1 and done all sorts of shit. Pulled him, beat him in a screamer. Pulled Spanish national champion. Arnold Schwarzenegger was watching me match, clapping away. Fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, biggest match in my life. Beats French national champ. Then I beat Norwegian champ, same day, left arm. Not one of them matches has been shown. Not fucking one. Well, you answer me. They're stuck away somewhere in the fucking thing. Now, that's 2013. 11 years later, they're not even out. You ask how many other people in this chat or any who's pulled an Arm Wars where all the matches are. Because if it's, yourself, if it's a shit match, they stop it.
Right.
They stop it. You know that, Jody. You know it. They stop matches at Arm Wars if it's going one-sided.
Yep.
It doesn't. You've not travelled fucking 10 hours on a plane to have your match stopped. You've come there to pull, win and lose. You want to go out on your shield. But no, it's not how it is. It's fake Back to the Future shit. Because what happens is you don't get a chance to go out on your shield. Just stop it. You're an athlete. You want to go out on your shield. If it's one-sided, it's one-sided. But it doesn't matter because it's all about what happens on the camera. It's all about what happens. It makes them the dollars. Always makes them the dollars. And that's what that is. You know, and that's a lot of bollocks too. Like, you know, we're real, man. We're real. We are real. We're honest. There's no grey area. It's black on it's white.
Yeah, hey, I'll admit there's some matches I did in Arm Wars last year that'll never see a light of day. You know.
Okay, and you've travelled how far?
I couldn't tell you the miles, but I traveled fucking far.
So why shouldn't they be shown? Win or lose, they should be shown. Shit or not, they should be shown. Because you are an athlete. You did not train for 12, 15, 16 weeks. Get juiced up like you always do, Jordy, right? You know, you did not train like that to go over there and have matches stopped. Right?
Right.
You don't. We don't do it. You imagine that Porkchop and Jordan are pulling and we go over and pull Porkley out of his match and say, hang on, we'll stop this and put a better one on. Come on. Man's fucking gone there, trained, gone on his sword. We don't do shit like that.
Right.
You know, and I'm not knocking Arm Wars here. That's their way of doing stuff. But, like, before we start bashing a tag match, let's bash something like that because at least we're giving you an opportunity. You know, at least you're not spending your hard-earned money for come and get your matches pulled and never be seen like you promised that, oh, hang on, I'll tell you, Jordy, this is it. Well, if you come and arm wrestle for Arm Wars, well, you'll get to be promoted on the YouTube channel and the sponsors might see it and you might get £1,000. Oh, yeah, we'll promote you. It'll be there forever. No, it won't. Because you've got matches that's never going to get fucking shown. So don't talk shit, you lying fucking Pinocchio twat.
Well, when I went there were 5 matches I did that weekend. 2 of them, like you said, they got stopped. They're starting to be one-sided. So, hey, we stop it. You know, it's getting too one-sided. 2 of them are on actual YouTube. One of them's not on there, and I went the whole 6 rounds, but it's not for whatever reason. It's not up there, which is fine. It is. I was kind of curious, like, hey, whatever happened to that match? Because
is it fine? Is it fine though, Jordy? Is it really fine? No, it's not, and you can't deny it. You're pissed off. You're pissed off. You were pissed off because you flew all the way around the world to pull because you're an athlete.
Right.
Because you are an athlete and you train hard and you love arm wrestling.
Yeah.
You pulled 5 matches. Win or lose, they should be on there. That's it. And you're pissed off. And I know you're pissed off because me and Evan and anybody else would be pissed off because we want to go out on our shields, even if we lose.
Right.
And your matches, if you were good enough to jump on a plane on your own dime, if you're good enough to travel over there, you should be respected enough to have all your matches on. Not cut them off because it might take too long to...
I have never heard of matches being stopped and they don't even let you finish them over there. I've never heard of that.
Oh, have you not? Well,
the match, just like in between the matches. Hey, it's looking one-sided. We're going to go ahead and cut it. Yeah, that happened to me twice over there.
I would be so fucking pissed off, man. I will never stop fighting, ever. I don't care how badly I'm losing. I could be exhausted and it's just getting worse for me. And I'm just going to get back to the table and I'm just going to start pushing on that dude as hard as I can, hoping that he hits a further exhaustion level than I do before the match is done. I don't ever want to be told you're not allowed to fight anymore until the match is actually over.
I thought it was something normal. I thought that was normal. That was my first time there. Yeah, I thought that was normal. So I was like, oh,
well, apparently it is normal.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be fucking pissed.
But this is what happened as well. Like we're built more like Spermy's there just on about James or Spermy, I call him. You know, this is a part of the family here. See, we have I don't like to say we've got fans. I like to say we've got a community, we've got a family. Like James Beats goes out there and he gets them all shot glasses, he gets them all tankards with a name on, gods and the name and everything. And loads of people have got them. There's 40 odd shot glasses for the guys that need sending out. Now, we're building something so much more.
He might be the nicest guy in the sport.
Yeah. See, when people come to us, like they're opened up with open arms. We see White Wolf, we give him a cuddle. We see James, we give him a cuddle. You know, we give everyone a cuddle, and we always have time for each other because we okay. Like we might be arm wrestlers, we might be in the public eye, right? And what was evident to me, which wasn't quite so evident, is when we're setting up on the Friday, a woman come and a fella, and he was into arm wrestling, and they were so giddy, they loved it. I didn't know who they were, and she was nearly crying, and I'm thinking, and she's like, I can't believe I'm here, and this, that, and other. And when you think on YouTube and Instagram and all that bollocks, you never really know who you're speaking to. You never really know. You see numbers, but that's it. You don't understand who you're talking to, and you don't know what weight you might carry, which is something I'm going to start. And I think Evan should probably think of a little bit more as well when we're ripping people and taking the piss. You never really know who you're speaking to and what effect you have. And that came to me on Friday that we actually do have a little bit of notoriety.
Right.
But then we're also not above anyone. We just aren't wrestlers. We're not fucking multimillionaire footballers. We just aren't wrestlers. We're normal people you can approach, you can chill with, dance with, have a beer with. And all these arm wrestlers that we have sit down with the God's Army, the usual suspects, whatever you want to call it. And we just sit there and we just chill because we're just one family. Yeah, we're one big happy family. And that's what you have to build. You have to build a community. Now, we're not on about ball lickers and arsehole lickers because none of them are. Because we all sit there, they all rip the piss out of each other. But again, we're all real, Jody. Like, we're not trying to sell you a fake dream. We won't try and say this, that, or other. We do our best for every single one of them. You ask any guys at UK, man, that's what we do. Like, I'm a predominantly very much a UK guy. Right? I love the UK. I want the best for the UK guys. And I always will. But I also know to get the best for the UK guys, I've also got to bring in the people from around the world. Now, I want to put the UK guys on a pedestal and lift them up and show the world what we have. And we're getting there, we're getting there. And I think overall, we're not just building the UK now, we're starting to build the world. I mean, we can go back to Canada, and Evan can correct me if I'm wrong, but we can go back to Canada anytime we want, and we'll have a bigger crowd than we had last time. We've got Milo Lorat talking about us, Auden Lorat speaking about us. They're doing shows about us. Like, you're doing shows about us. People are talking about us.
Yeah.
And they're not talking about us because we're nothing. Because we're obviously making waves, aren't we? Because you don't see people talking about Knuckles Up. You don't see people talking about AWE or any other organisation. You're seeing them speaking about us now.
Well, another reason why I like you guys, you give people opportunities, but for some of us like myself who have never competed on the WAF world stage, it gives you that, that opportunity. Like when I went to Arm Wars last year, I was excited because now I get to pull and compete against international pullers I probably never get to see in the States. So when I went over there, I was pulling people from Romania, Australia, Canada, England. So for me, that was like, oh, I get to actually compete against these guys, just to see what it's like. When I'm sitting up there the night after, I'm up 7 a.m. drinking coffee, and I'm talking to Maynard and Nenjez, and we're sitting up there exchanging, just talking shop, about each other's club. For me, it was the experience. But yeah, I thought, when you go over there, like, oh, this must be, how many other people went to Arm Wars and not have their matches, not televised. Well, I just found out now because you told me in 2013 that happened to you. So, I thought it was just the norm. So, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying about that. Yeah, there's a match out there floating. And I sat back there with James, and we sat there and went over the, how did match 1, 2, 3, and et cetera, how those matches go, did the whole spiel, and it never got shown. And, thought that was normal.
That happens. That happens to a lot of people, man. A lot of people. A lot of people get disgruntled with it, you know?
Right.
And anyway, this is not about bashing fucking back tits. This is just like this is just examples of like, you know, where we are and where other people are and what we do, you know. And obviously, you know, we got on about this tack match and all this bollocks. And the thing is, Geordie, like I said, 2 weeks ago, you was up for it. It was your mate Ryan who weren't overly bothered, and then he changed his mind a little bit, and then you don't watch it, right? Nah, that's fine because you let two people put you off. But if you was going out meeting a bird, right? Now, this is obviously, I know you're happily married, blah blah. If you were going out meeting a bird, right, and you saw the fittest bird in your life, and you thought, fucking hell, I want to give her a lick, right? But she was with the ugliest girl of your life, stood at side of her, would you let the ugly girl put you off the fit bird? No?
If I'm with the other girl, that's my mate, that's who I'm rolling with.
But no. Okay, I'll put it a different way. Let's say you have your favourite meal, right, on a plate, your favourite meal on a plate, and then outside of that plate, there was the worst favourite meal, yeah? Would you let that worst favourite meal stop you from eating your favourite meal?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah?
When you broke it down like that, okay.
Yeah, so you have now not watched the full event because of one match. So you haven't given it the third crack of the whip. You have missed 16 unbelievable matches because you let one match put you off. Now, what does that say about you?
Well, okay, so I'm going to go to the beginning. I've watched the Gods Valhallas before, and I was intrigued.
No, forget them others. It doesn't matter about the others. You still let Evan Begard and Uncle John put you off a full event. So what does that say about you?
Well, I mean, if that says a black eye for me, so be it. The press conference was what turned me off. Okay,
but you had all them other amazing matches. So what it is, you've let one bad experience ruin what could have been the best experience of your life. You persecuted Gods' matches because of one thing you didn't like. When you know you've watched all Gods stuff before and you've loved it. Yeah. So, well, that's so it's no different than me saying, hang on then, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Geordie's or Ryan Epsey or whoever, and Rob Vidgett when he went on his rants, you know, you've all had your say, right? Okay, and we're not, you know, it is what it is. You're entitled to your opinions. Well, that's like me saying, okay, well, Rob Vidgett Jr. has done his rant. I'm never going to have him on again. That's like me saying, well, Geordie, well, fucking hell, Geordie, you know, you could have given us benefit of doubt, but you didn't. So I'm not going to give you benefit of doubt, so we never have you over. Or we could say that about Ryan Epsey. But the truth is, we're not like that. We're not like that. Because, you know, truth is, we probably will give you a chance. We probably would have Ryan Epsey pulling James Stewart or Dean Bolt for a Commonwealth Championship. We are going to have Rob Vidgett Jr. back because, you know, that's how we are. We're not going to judge someone from one experience. That's not what we do. And that's where, like, I think when I'm speaking to you now, I think, well, you know, Geordie, you know, you're a lovely bloke. You know, I've messaged you years gone by.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll always have time for you. And I'm not going to blacklist you because you've not watched our event because you got pissed off with one press conference, one match. But you can see what I'm saying. They're like, you could have given us the benefit of the doubt because of that, and you would have loved it. And you would have seen how much that we've come on. You would have seen that we had a massive big Titron screen there. We had unbelievable sparks, unbelievable walk-ins. We had another amazing crowd. We had the best camera angles that we've ever had. You know, we had great commentary. We had great music. We had, you know, it was an amazing thing. But you let one thing put you off, and if you'd have been open-minded enough to just let that stupid thing go, then you would have benefited from it as an arm wrestling fan and being able to watch something amazing, because that's what it were, and that's what the world, you know, speak about. I mean, like, I've seen a few negative comments, right, and I'm sure we're going to get so many more when that tag match comes out on Sunday evening, right? I'm sure we're going to get a million. Well, I'm sure we're going to get a million bad comments. But why is no one commending us for being brave enough to try and change things, to break away from the norm, to think outside of the box, to whether it's failed or whether it's a failure or whether it's a success. I believe that we should take the positives from it and we should be commended for doing something different, because we've had the bollocks to try to do it. We've not hidden away. We've not shied away when there's been 10 men stood in front of us in a bar. We've not turned our back and been a bitch. We've stood there and I can't read it to me, Jordan. I can't read it while I'm talking bollocks.
Andre says, we show what we want with our money. If we bought the ticket, you guys would assume that's what we want, the next level. If you do it, you have 2 tier memberships, so you can truly see if people want the tack match.
Right. Go on then. So read it again, but slow, Joe, because I'm struggling here with my eyes.
Okay, it says, we show what we want with our money. If we bought the ticket, you guys would assume that's what we want next event. If you do it, have a 2-tier membership so you can truly see if people want the tack match.
Right, okay, Andre. So I put this to you, my friend, right? So it's your money, you can do as you wish with it. But 16 matches for $4.99. Look at it that way. Who gives that? Nobody. No one can give you that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You can then choose, like certain other people did, to walk away, not watch the match, or switch it off. Like, we don't have to make 2 tiers to like a pay-per-view for one, a pay-per-view for another, or whatever. You don't have to watch the match. You could just cut it off and say, right, okay, Mindaugas, Tim Bresnan, Mindaugas won world title, and I don't need to watch that last match. It's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
But to condemn that, just because you buy it, doesn't mean that we think you want a tag match, because we're not stupid enough and ignorant enough to think that that's what everyone wants, because we know it isn't.
Right.
Listen, the until it's released on YouTube, we don't know what reaction we're going to get, because the people who've watched it already are people that support us, or the people what was inquisitive, or the people who wanted to see amazing arm wrestlers. So we still don't know what's going to come of this. It could be the biggest shit show of all time. But there's one thing about it, whether it is the biggest shit show or it's not the biggest shit show, we will stand by our decision to have put this match on. We will move on. We will move on. And if this is a failure, there might be one and only ever tag match. There might never be another. But then there will guaranteed be an electric shock match. There will.
Right.
Because this one might be the next big thing. And if that doesn't work, maybe then we'll think, well, okay, we're a little bit too forward in the future and we'll revert back to just arm wrestling matches. I don't know. But it's like when you're a kid or when you're whatever, and someone says, oh, do you like chicken fried rice? And you went, ugh. Yeah, well done, David. It's like you have chicken fried rice, right? You have chicken fried rice. And you say, oh, hang on, do you want that? Do you want to try this, Jordy? And you went, oh, no, I'm not trying that. Why? Have you tried it, Jordy? No, I've never tried it. I just don't like the sound of it. That's basically what people have done. And to be fair, they're just fucking lemmings. And I don't want you there anyway, because your number's a piss stone. And you've not got an open mind. That's the truth, man. I mean, fuck me. I mean, like, I'm the fucking shepherd. I am a shepherd. I'm not a sheep. I'm a fucking shepherd. You know, I guide the flock. The flock doesn't guide me. But fucking majority of the people just follow each other. They just like follow it in a line and they just go like that, boop, 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 off end of a fucking cliff. Yeah, and that's the truth. That's the truth. Because if that's the way of thinking, like, oh, I don't want to try that chicken fried rice because I don't like the sound of it, then the number's a piss stone, in my opinion. If you said to me, Paul, I'm doing a fucking Bunsen burner match, right? I'd say, go on, Jordy, try it. If you said you was doing an underwater match or something, I don't fucking know, I would support you. I would support you, Jordy, and I would support anyone. I buy East versus Wests. I bought fucking Armwolf. Marcus was a £100 a month Arm Wars supporter. I buy King of the Tables. I buy Knuckles Up. I buy Travis Badgent's ones. I buy them all.
Right.
I support arm wrestling, no matter what. Whether or not, I mean, when someone says to me, okay, like they've got Puller A versus Puller B, do I think sometimes it might be a good match? Yes. Do I think sometimes it won't be a good match? But I won't stop me supporting the event because of it or the person, because the truth is, I want to build everything about arm wrestling. And I'm not ignorant enough to think, well, hang on, just because I don't think it's a good match doesn't mean it's not going to be a good one. I mean, how many people in the world know Connor Sale? How many people in the world? yeah, but how many people in the world know Matt Smith? Right? They didn't.
Right.
They didn't. But they fucking well know him now, because all the guys around the world, Neil Pickup, Coach Ray, Devin Laratt, Paul Lynn, they're all talking about him.
Yeah.
They're all talking about them. They might just be the biggest names on the fucking press right now.
Like, I'm a fan of James Wall. I'm a fan of Elliot Eccles, Tom Holland. I'm a fan of those guys. And I tell people, I'm like, hey, and now Tom Holland's making his way now. He's starting to becoming the face of the Knuckles Up. I'm like, okay, you know, I knew this before Tom started making his way to New Jersey to pull at that event. You know, Tom is badass. Elliot Eccles, young lad, kick-ass puller. You know, I mean, hey, James Wall, all those guys, you know, I mean, but again, because I'm an actual fan, I know these guys, and what you're trying to say is, how do we get the common people to understand who these guys are? So, I mean, I do understand that. It's just, I'm trying to
but this is the thing. So it might not be like if someone says Jody Williams and Josh Davis, right? Mm-hmm. You've known in your community. Josh Davis is known in his
thick skin.
Yeah, he hates that. He hates that thick skin. That's a nickname given to him. It's a derogatory nickname given to him because he's got fucking thick skin and fucking psoriasis and eczema. He doesn't like it. His name is the Road Warrior or fucking Mini Tank. That's what he likes. Neil's give him that derogatory name when he doesn't fucking like it. Who wants to be called fucking thick skin? No one's called fucking thick skin. And he's fucking, like he used to say back in there, he gives Stuart Hall and Nick Hall, you know, they're fucking, the farmers, he called them fucking from Stink or something like that because he thought it was fucking funny. It's not fucking funny. Josh Davis hates that nickname, so let's just get it out there just for facts, because Josh is a very good friend of mine and he don't fucking like it, right? But, like, you against Josh Davis, for instance, right? People might think, oh, right, world, they might not give that a chance. They might not give it a chance. Think, oh, Jody Williams, he's not best in world, neither Josh Davis. I don't really want to watch them. But they're just ignorant because you might give them the best match of all time. Yeah? So this is what I'm saying. This the mindset of people's thinking. We started from nothing. We started from Carlingford last January, and we started from nothing. Right? We put on an amazing event. It got noticed. We put on another amazing event. The Canadians are very much like the UK fans. They're fucking bonkers. We love them to pieces. And Eric Rooston, one of the most respected arm wrestlers in North America,
yes,
he left his house, jumped in his car, drove 45 minutes because he loved the event and loved the electricity, and he needed to be there.
I remember that.
Yeah, okay. Now we go and do this other massive event. We play him in Dimitrov. We stepped it up again. Jordan, Sonef, and people like that, right? Mm-hmm. Just multiple-time WAF world champions. Now, look at that. I mean, how many people have that? How many people have that, Jody? Like that sort of guys who want to come to the event and come over and thank you and can't stop shaking your hand because they want to keep coming to your event. Well, please have us back again. It's not as though we paid them $1 million because, believe me, we didn't. Right. You know, like, they're just like them guys. 1 second, but then I don't want me back. I only got 5%, so it goes off. I'm gone. Okay. So, like, these guys are like unbelievable men, and they so appreciated what they've done, and they can't wait for it to be back on card. They're looking at the next time because when they've come, I mean, Playman Dimitrov comes, stood at the side of me and went, "Wow, you must have spent a fortune." Oh yeah, we did. But the thing is, he understands what we did. Like, the world didn't see it. Right? We could have stuck it on YouTube, right? the best thing that me and Marcus could do is stick a Valhalla on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then we'd probably get 100,000 views, maybe more. We get more subs, we get everything else. But the truth is, you know yourself, Jordy, like YouTube, you're making fucking 5 pence. You might make $2, you might make 50 cents, you might be looking to make 5 cents. It's terrible for someone like us who don't have a lot of subscribers and fans or whatever, right? But we've gone through a different approach. We've gone to a website. So when our app comes out soon enough, like we're just going through the final 3-time tape with fucking Google. It's just them what's holding us back now. Our app will be out. But for our members, we've obviously, you get your pay-per-views. We have our super series. But then there's a 10-part series coming with James Beach's training. James Wall's coming out. We've got a free training camp with an Olympic coach who's going to be teaching you how to plan your training, how to periodically do that, by Nick Dodd. He was also on the show. He's an Olympic coach. We've got Tom Holland coming down for his... we've got Connor Sale coming down the week after next. All these are going to be videotaped and stuck on for the members. And for $4.99, for the minimum membership for $4.99, you can't get that anywhere. Right. And this is the thing. And if people don't want to back that, then they don't. I mean, we're not making a fortune. We're open. We're not making a fortune. Did we pull our last 3 events at a loss? Of course we did. Can we continue to be at a loss all the time? No, we can't.
Right.
But there's no one on a positive net. Nobody. Right? Nobody. And but we're grinding. We're grinding. And we're building the support, and we're going to get there. And in 3, 4, 5 years' time, when we've done all the graft and we've done all the hard work and the groundwork that we need to do, we'll still be standing.
Right.
We'll still be there. And we'll be the first people to have 1,000 people in the crowd, 1,500 people, 2,000 people, because we're entertainment. Because we're not arm wrestling promotion as such now. We're arm wrestling entertainment. And if you want to build arm wrestling, you need people to be able to come and pay and watch. All right.
Can I call you guys Arm Wrestling Entertainment now? Because I don't want to. Since you just said we're not a promotion.
You can call us Arm Wrestling Entertainment, yeah, because that's what we are. Okay. We're Arm Wrestling Entertainment. We put on real matches. Obviously, we have a little bit of sideshow. We do whatever, but we're Arm Wrestling Entertainment, and not just because you might see Uncle John with a cut head or Evan Bourgoin with a beard pull or whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. Because if you come to us, you come, you sit round the table. There's music playing. You can have a beverage. You can cheer. You can shout. You've got girls jiggling the titties. You've got Rob Vigent Jr. dropping his pants and shaking his ass, dancing to Shakira. We have inflatable pubs with violinists and singers, because that's what we had.
Right.
And no one left the seats. No one left the building. People enjoyed themselves. The matches stopped around 12. People were still drinking at 4 in.
Right.
You've got my sister and a friend and a cousin already booked the room in Wales in the 6th of July for Super Series.
Right.
They've already booked the room. We're going to sell more tickets. We're going to get more people dancing, more people singing, more people moving, more people grooving. And Wales is going to be amazing once again. It's going to build a little bit more from that little acorn. The big trees are starting to grow.
Right.
And we're going to get noticed again. And then we'll go to America next year. We'll do another Valhalla. And then we'll get the greatest country in the world to get behind us. And then we'll build again. And then we'll build again and again and again and again. So sooner or later, you're just saying, Paul, fuck, can I buy Arm Gods for £68 million? And I'll say, Jordy, come back when you can make it 168 million.
So before your battery goes out, your phone dies.
I've still got 4%. It's doing well, this phone, actually.
Oh, okay. Do you you said June 6th is your next event, correct?
July the 6th. July the 6th.
July.
Sorry. Yeah.
So everybody out there, July 6th is the next event. You said Super Series?
Yeah, so it's Arm Gods Wales. So it's not a Valhalla show. It's Team Wales. So there'll be 13 pullers from Wales against 13 guys from the UK. We might stick a special showcase match on. We might bring a special superstar in. We don't know. But this is very much it's for the members who are members with us on the Super Series.
Right.
Sorry, on the website. But also it's like it's almost like a Valhalla. You got the lights, the sparks, the smoke, all the bullshit apart from like the Titron screen and stuff. Massive entertainment. It's in the middle of a council estate, which is like a bit of a rough area. That absolutely fucking nuts. Either.
Do you see what Paul? Do you see what Marcus said?
What's he say?
He said Paul would sell for what is that, £5?
But £5, yeah. Well, I'd sell him for £5. I mean, that's what his last wig cost him. Oh gosh, I mean, Marcus the Toupee Thompson.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul, I really thank you for joining the show to put some more in-depth emphasis on what you guys do and stuff. And I'm glad you actually came on the show, because I'm thinking, I sent Paul and Evan sent you a link. I'm like, is he coming on? And all of a sudden you popped in. I was like, oh yes, let's get you on so you can really kind of lay down the land, say, hey, this is what we do as a landscape. So I want to really thank you for coming on the show and iron out some of those questions and concerns that everyone had. So
yeah, and I want you to go and watch match 1 to 16.
Okay.
Don't watch the tag match. Forget it. Go and watch match 1 to 16. Come back. Send me a personal message.
Mm-hmm.
And if you come back and said to me, Paul, that was shit, I will give you a 12-month membership for free, right? And possibly invite you over to a competition at some point. Possibly. It depends, because I might fall out here. I'm only joking. But watch it match 1 to 16. Don't watch the last one.
Right.
Watch match 1 to 16 and then come back and then give me honest, truthful opinion.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. Yes. And then, if you feel brave enough, watch the tax match. Watch the tack match on Sunday night, and it's probably not going to be up your alley, as it's not going to be up 95%.
Mm-hmm.
We might get 1 view, we might get 1 million. I don't know. I'm sort of hoping we get 1 million, because we could do with a few dollars in bank. But I don't know how it's going to play out. All I know is this: we dream, we believe, and we achieve. That's our motto at Arm Gods. And we want to just say, before we leave, thank you so much to every single person that supports us and gives us your hard-earned money each month for us to, put towards these events. We appreciate every single one of you more than you can understand. We will continue to go on our path. I promise you, we will not veer away, no matter how big or wherever we get, because we're one big happy family, and we're going to keep it that way. Unfortunately, I don't think Marcus will be able to stay with Arm Gods, due to the fact that he's a fucking tosser and I can't stand him. And if you didn't know this about Marcus Thompson, he's not Irish, he's actually British. He was born in Northern Ireland, which comes under Britain. He fought for the British judo, not Ireland, and he's world number 6,934. He's the best position he ever got. And on that note, Jody, thank you so much, Mr. Chocolate Thunder. You're an absolute superstar. Marcus Thompson, give me a call in a minute, buddy, and we'll call Jody a wanker. See you later.
Buddy. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the show. I mean, how often do you get basically arm guys coming to ArmTalk? So Evan started the show. Paul Maiden came on and he closed the show. So again, just to make things clear, I'm not saying that a promotion, arm guys, is entertainment. Paul even said it. I'm not saying it was shit. What turned me off was the Evan Bourgoin, Uncle John, scuffle, if you want to call that. That was what turned me off. Not the match card, that right there. And you know what? Evan said it. Now Paul said it. I'll go back and watch it, because I'm sure all the matches leading up to that main event was top notch. Because I've seen that before. I've seen those matches on there before. I love them. I like what they're doing and stuff. I just didn't think that, the tag match is where we want to go. The shock match, I mean, that'll be something to talk about, But Other than that, I like that because I want everybody to see guys on that side of the continent. You know, like I said, James Beach, James Wall, you know, Connor Sale, all those guys, you know, Tom Holland. I like that. Elliot Eccles. List goes on and on. Those guys, Mendelskis, right? Those guys are top notch, and not everybody gets a chance to see them, right? So Arm Gods gives people opportunity to see them. When they came over to Canada, right? A lot of people got a chance to see those athletes, you know, compete, you know. And like I said, not to get on Arm Wars, but when I went to Arm Wars, it gave me an opportunity to go compete against international pullers, right? And you know, when I got to pull against, you know, Elliot Eccles, you know, I was like, wow, this dude's the real thing, you know. And yes, there's gonna be matches I'll probably never see the night of day. That's what they do, but you know, after what these guys said, like, hey, you flew over here on your own dime. Why the fuck would you not get a finish your fall on your sword, finish your story, whatever, you know, phrase you want to use, you know? And like I said, Paul and Marcus, you top notch, you know? So yes, I'll go back and watch the event and see for myself. And, you know, they said, hey, come back to them and tell them what I think. I'll go ahead and do that. But hey, you know, we're all in the same boat, you know, everyone has their own opinions, but yes, I'll do them a solid. Go watch the event, see what I think. I'll get back to both gentlemen, and we'll go from there. Hell, if I need to, I will go live and tell everybody what I thought about that. So with that being said, it's Friday morning, late morning for me, probably nighttime for you guys over there. But thank everybody for watching the show. I appreciate that. Hey, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you guys soon.